You already had a cup of coffee?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. We're on the pre-show right now. You like the tea?
I like the tea. It's very good tea.
Good.
It's British, right?
It is British, yes. With a lot of honey. A lot of honey. Last time I asked you, was that enough honey? He's like, no, not really. So
It's pretty good tea.
Okay, good.
And I'm not a tea drinker.
You're not?
No, it's just one more thing to do. And, I have a coffee maker and just push a button.
Hit a button, yes. Okay, well, that's good. All right, so pre-show. Want to make sure audio is sounding good on the pre-show because last time people were complaining. They're saying, I can't hear Tim.
Okay, and now I talking to this microphone?
You talk into the microphone that's a few inches from your mouth, yes.
And how far away should the microphone?
I would put that microphone about 4 inches from your mouth, meaning closer. No. See what happens is you get tired, you lean back, your forehead hits the mic. Audio is fine, says Mitchie Stacker. Thank you. This was really nice. This was from, was it Black Market Metals?
Yes,
Black
what he
Market
wrote.
Metals? That's what he wrote?
That's what he wrote.
He bought this Libertad, and he said, give it to me.
Yes.
Well, we might just have to pay that one forward tonight, guys. So we've got that. We've got a maple.
I can't see comments. You got me on the wrong one.
Oh, okay. You want to see the comments. You enjoy that more than anything else, don't you?
You have very interesting followers.
Oh, is this it? Yes, there we go. Look
Holy
at this. Woo, they are flying. Volume is really low, says Space Cowboy. Dude,
Some
really?
good comments. Bubbles, I hear you.
Oh, no.
Says Space Cowboy says.
Okay. For everyone that
volume is really
uses
low.
the word bubbles in the chat, thank you, Tim. You have to also put Hallmark Tim in the chat. And there's even an emoji for Hallmark Tim because we know you secretly love to watch the Hallmark channel. You're a romantic, a hopeless romantic, and you watch those. He's looking at me like, "Shut up, Yankee."
Hallmark? What do they have?
You love Hallmark. Remember the lady that was in your store? She said, "I can tell you are a Hallmark guy. You're a Hallmark."
She did
Tim.
say that, but I'm not really sure why she said that.
I'm just you're Hallmark, buddy. Bubbles. Bubbles the street urchin. I heard somebody call me. There it is. The crown and the bubbles. Thank you, Dan. Oh, geez. All right. Yeah, we'll see how many people come in here. And we'll just give it a few more minutes in the pre-show. You saw all the stuff I want to talk about tonight. Right?
I can't really read it. It's too far away.
Yeah, I will put it up on you. You've got your own personal monitor in studio, Tim. I should put a little sign across that. It says Tim's monitor. I control it. I put stuff up there. And right now you said you wanted to see the chat. Oh, man. Bubbles, Hallmark Tim. What's up, Bubbles and Hallmark Tim? Oh, man. No angry red shirt guy. That was a good... Did you guys like that video from yesterday? Put a 1 in the chat if you saw and enjoyed that video. Put a 2 if you hated it.
What was that video about?
This guy in a red shirt was at Silver Dave's, and he was like so intense about silver, and I was like,
why?
Well, he was telling people what they have to do, and he was just really demonstrative, and he was passionate. Let me tell you, really passionate. Yeah. On fire. Yes, Mogo. He was on fire. Very intense. But he's a nice guy. All right, so volume check one more time. I'm a little loud, probably. Let me back this off. Tim, could you speak to the people in the chat right now in the pre-show?
Can you hear me?
Okay, Hallmark. Let's do it.
Okay, what am I supposed to say?
You're glad to be here.
Remember, everybody subscribe to Yankees channel.
No, not that. Just you're happy to be here, right?
I'm very happy to be here. We had a good day today.
Oh, good. I'm going
Good
to
day
ask
in the
you
store.
about that one. That's gonna be
And
interesting.
after the last 2 days, I thought there was never, ever going to be another good day. I've never seen money fly out the door so fast.
Did I hear you say that you almost closed the doors and quit?
I was getting close. Well, I did say, if the next person comes in, if he sells me something, I'm going to close the store and start loading up my car to go find a wholesaler.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it is shocking how much has come in.
Was it a little frustrating?
Well, it's tying up a lot of money. That's the problem. And if you knew how to run your business, you probably wouldn't tie up that kind of money.
Yeah.
That's a rookie move.
That's
what puts companies out of business.
yeah. You had a line out the door, and what did you say? You told me you went to the line and asked them.
Oh, I did say,
What did
is
you-
anybody buying anything? And nobody answered.
I love what Red said. Why sell right now? Crazy.
And there was one guy, but he only bought, he bought one or two
Yeah, not a lot. Right?
rolls of whatever.
Okay, so
And they all pushed him up to the front of the line.
they pushed him up. You go up. You be the
Yeah,
you take.
I want him to have some money when I get there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was thinking about calling Harry. I didn't know what his number was. Where's that refinery, Harry?
It is amazing to me that people are doing that.
Okay,
Honest.
today
was different.
I sold kilos at spot. And we sold, I believe, 8 of them at spot.
One of the
Okay.
customers really went big.
Well,
It was his annual purchase, he said.
but before he started, he was asking about other types of silver. And he said something like, he made the key request. He said, "So what's the best deal?"
Boom.
Yeah,
That.
that's it. Kilos and 100-ounce bars at spot. And I'm going to do some spot again with gold.
And yes,
just
please do
some of
that.
the accessory gold. It's
Yes.
other stuff that we get a lot of.
I love it.
I have a lot of the commemorative series gold. The $5 and $10 gold pieces that come out with different
Yes.
themes. And at one point we're gonna sell those for spot. What we have to do, because I'm counting on you to explain to the people what we're doing,
All right.
we're going to pick a time
Let
and we're going to pick a number
okay.
so people know what the spot is.
All right. Let's hold that thought. I'll see you guys on the other side. right. Welcome to Ask Yankee. So great to have you here. This is going to be a fun one tonight because we've got the man, my good friend and coin dealer, Tim Marshner, in the house. And we're going to do our very best to answer your gold and silver stacking questions. All right. So we're going to give a Q&A at the end of this live stream. Yes. True Patriots. Glad you guys are here. Giveaways. Oh, yeah. We've got giveaways tonight, brought to you in part by SD Bullion, my favorite online bullion dealer. Of course, the Coin and Stamp Shop, my favorite coin shop, owned and operated by Tim. Dude, you are the best LCS around. I love your shop. Just in there today.
Well, that's because there aren't any more around.
I know. That's a problem. All right. So I'll also be giving away some of my own silver, depending on how many super chats I get. All right. So for every $100 in super chats, I got to give away another 1 ounce of Yankees stack. So definitely feel free to make it hurt. And how do you enter the giveaways? That's always the question. Well, first you got to be a subscriber. Subscriber Tim, I'm up to 192,000 subscribers and change. I'm getting there. Okay.
The rest must be Democrats.
Oh, dude. Oh, wow. He's primed and ready to go tonight. When I get to 200,000 subscribers, Tim, I'm going to give away a bunch of silver and gold. So that's going to be a wild life.
To me?
No, not to you.
Oh.
You're not eligible. That's why you're never on the wheel. Speaking of which, you do need to be a U.S. or Canadian citizen. Actually have a mailing address from U.S. or Canada. Be active in the chat. In fact, I'm going to start harvesting names right now. So, boom, the harvesting has begun. The names will be harvested. And then eventually, at the end, I will take those names and put them on the wheel of names. You want to see what the wheel of names looks like? Yeah, let me show that because there's a lot of people that don't know what that is. There's the wheel of names. We're going to put your name on there. We'll spin it around. It is the famous, exciting, beloved, super fun, and completely not rigged wheel of names. Okay, so if you see anybody in the chat saying it's rigged or throwing up the rigged emoji, don't believe them. That's a running joke by Rig Nation. So that's going to be there. And I just need people to also put in not rigged. My members, all of you guys. I really appreciate all my members, the Patriot Pistol members, the Buffalo Bullet members, the Yankee Cannon members. You guys have access to those emojis. Please put not rigged in there, please.
You must have about 100,000 subscribers that have won something on that wheel.
You would think. All right. So I am trying to, convert people to not rigged nation, one winner at a time. I get emails from the winners saying I was a part of Rig Nation, but not anymore, Yankee. You won me over. I am a true believer. I know it's not rigged now. See, I'm just saying. All right. So special thanks to you guys. And thank you also to my mods. You guys are the best. So let's bring in the one and only Tim Marshner. How you doing, buddy?
Still here.
Still here? Still kicking? Still breathing?
In spite of the firestorm yesterday and the day before.
Could you explain for those who are maybe just popping into the chat what happened yesterday and the day before?
It was very strange. We had lines out the door and everybody was selling. And, it amounted to a huge amount of money because people were selling all their silver or, everything they collected up until a certain date. And very few were selling silver and converting to gold. And very few were selling gold to convert to silver. Well, yeah. It was turn it into that fiat.
That lovely fiat.
Yeah, and it ran out quickly.
Speaking of fiat, we've actually seen the dollar index fall to its lowest levels in over 3 years, Tim. The dollar. That's a pretty interesting chart, isn't it?
It is an interesting chart. I'd like to see it converted to something that people have to rely on to see what the true value of the dollar is. Like
Long
if you,
term, though, we know what's happening with the dollar, right? I mean, it is declining. Its value is dropping. You know, of all people at your age, 79, you know what a dollar was worth 20, 30, 50, 60 years
well,
ago.
we talk about it a lot because of the limit of spending $10,000 before you have to fill out paperwork for the IRS.
Right.
And I point out that when they started this, when they put that rule in place, it was the same year I bought a car for $3,278, brand new car. And so when they put this rule into effect, $10,000 could buy 3 cars. Now, if you're browsing around a Ford dealership and you see a tricked out Ford F-150, $10,000 is not a reasonable down payment. In fact, you probably won't get financing.
Wow. That's my point. I think the dollar, our currency, is not trash. Cash is still king, but eventually it's going to be trash if we keep doing this.
Well, in comparison to other currencies, it's still very strong.
Yep.
Now,
I'm not arguing.
how
with that.
they
Yep.
gauge the dollar index, it used to be against other currencies. I'm not sure how they're coming up with that number now.
You know, one other thing you and I talked about, because I was in your shop today, it was a lot of fun, a little stressful, because it was starting to rain. I was biking in. And also my tech wasn't working right, so I barely got that video recorded. But while I was in...
You did have that the beanie with the propeller on the top, didn't you?
Tim. Remember the ground rules, okay? You can't tease me. You can't tease me about my bike. You can't call me
Well, I was
Bubbles the
surprised.
street
I
urchin.
was surprised to see you on a girl's bike.
It's not a girl's bike. It's
Yeah, I don't
unisex.
understand your explanation of
Okay,
how you
I know,
ride
okay.
it. How you ride it side saddled.
Okay, well, it was fun having Tim here tonight. Come on, man. All right. Anyways, what was I going to say? Oh, I know. We talked about how the dollar was usually, in historically, it's an inverse correlation to the price of metals, the spot price of metals. Usually when the dollar goes down, spot price goes up.
metals go
With
up.
Gold, metals goes up, right.
And
that hasn't...
it hasn't held for the most of the last year. It also is the same is true. When the dollar goes up, the metal should go down. And we've had many times, I mean, look at this graph, you could probably correlate it to gold, and it just doesn't hold true anymore. But if it's recomputed in dollars, it should be a fact that when the dollar goes up, the metals go down. When the dollar goes down, the metals go up. There may be a little of that because the trend recently has been for gold to go down. And I think if the dollar is more devalued than it has been recently, that may be why the downturn in gold has kind of stalled out.
Well, year to date, gold's been looking good. We get in a short-term mindset sometimes when we get panicking when we see it drop. But over a whole year so far, look at that. Half a year.
Yep. And when it hit 3,500, I said to people, it's not going any higher. In fact, hold on.
Yeah, you were like...
And it
3,500?
dropped. It dropped like a rock.
Yeah, right there. Boom. Tried to climb up. Boom. Silver, on the other hand, year to date, again, we had this big drop in, beginning of April. Is that the tariff drop? Was that the tariffs right around the April?
Probably.
Yeah, April 2nd, right? Boom. Rebounded. Gold, I'm going to get the platinum and palladium in a second, but the GSR, you had somebody in today exchanging silver to gold at
Yes.
a GSR of what? Around 90 today, right?
I think it was a little above 90.
A little above 90, right? That seemed high to me. I mean, we were chatting, and I didn't want to tell him not to do it, but he was like, Yankee, I know it's probably going to go a lot lower at some point, but he wanted to stack debts. He wanted more gold than silver, so he was doing it that way. That to me is still high. If you look at, all time, I mean, back here, we've seen it down in the 60s back in 2021. We've seen the GSR down in the 30s back at, 2011. It can go a lot lower. I think we should hold on that. Uh-oh. Looks like I've lost Tim again.
Oops.
What you looking up?
Yeah, it was about 92, 93 in that range.
Okay.
Most of the
when
last
you did the exchange?
the last 2 days, it's been in that 92 range.
Right.
But that's still too high. And when gold finally gets back to supply and demand pricing, the ratio will probably go closer to 50.
You know, that was there was that intense red shirt guy yesterday at Silver Dave's I was talking with. He said something very interesting. He said, "What's the value, the stamped value, or the dollar denomination on a 1 ounce gold eagle, Yankee? $50. What's the denomination on a 1 ounce silver eagle, Yankee? $1. 50 to 1. That's what it's right there on the coins." I'm like, okay. 50 to 1. You said it. You just said 50 to 1. That's kind of interesting.
Coincidental.
Coincidental. Okay. All right. Let's look at I saw this in the chat too. Let's take a look at this. Platinum. Over the last, year to date. Oh, what happened? What happened in May? Let's just look at the last month. Platinum and palladium.
I think the Russians have a great influence on both platinum and palladium. They mine more than any other country, I'm pretty sure.
You're saying Russia then?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
But they may be doing something. You know, they may be about to take over another country's platinum.
Gee. All right. So something else I wanted to ask you about is this. The first quarter GDP revised lower.
Yeah.
Consumer spending is down. I'm wondering, and I'm seeing this, right? I'm seeing people much more cautious about what they're buying. They are. I talked to some people in the grocery store because Mrs. Yankee, now that I'm semi-retired, we go grocery shopping every week together. That took a few months.
You wear that beanie with a pepper?
No, stop. No. I'm the one pushing the cart. But I talked to some people, and I've noticed over the last few months, people are like, this is too much. I can't afford this. Or they're only looking for sale items. We walk into like the cereal aisle or something, and Mrs. Yankee is a very cautious shopper. She's looking for deals. All of the sale items are emptied. Everything else is still there. People are really trying to pinch pennies. And my thought was, is that affecting the retail purchases of gold and silver? People don't have that free cash to be able to convert.
I don't say no, because the percentage of the population that's buying groceries is astronomical compared to the percentage of the population buying gold.
No doubt there. I totally agree with that. Yep.
So it's hard to draw a relationship between the two. The other thing is, I can usually get into the Hannafords in my town without any difficulties. But at the same time of day, going to the one where I work, it's almost impossible. It's so crowded. So it may depend on where you're located too. But I'm not surprised. Keep in mind, the first quarter was under Trump. And prior to that, under the old administration, the amount of inflation was different. What people had to spend was a lot higher. I think there may be some relationship between the GDP, which is always faked by a government, probably more real now because the numbers are probably more real. I just think it's a matter of you're right in the beginning of the changeover from one administration to another. There's a lot, because the numbers are they're not real numbers. And they haven't been for the last 4 years. They haven't been real.
I think they haven't been real for a long time. I think the Federal Reserve, you and I were talking about the Fed. That last chart I showed you, one of the things is his Trump's arguing with Jerome Powell. You're saying, actually, he's not arguing with him. You think the arguments are happening within the Federal Reserve's own body.
I really wonder how much support he has and what he has to let's say he's herding cats. I think it's probably 50-50. He probably gets agreement from 50% of the governors, and he has to argue with 50% of the governors. And I think Jerome Powell is actually pretty savvy. He has a very difficult job, and every time he goes and appears before the Senate, he has to contend with Elizabeth Warren, who seems to hate his guts. So he's careful about what he says. And I don't think his problem with Trump is kind of typical because of what Trump believes where interest rates should be and what the Fed is letting Powell do regarding interest rates.
I also saw this article. This will see if I can bring this. It's good old New York Times. Investors on edge about a potential shadow Fed chair. Traders are moved on a report that President Trump is again weighing a shakeup at the central bank that could undermine market confidence.
Okay. Anything you say about Donald Trump should not include the term shadow. Everything Donald Trump does is under the bright lights.
Transparency.
Transparency. Terrific transparency.
I am waiting on
many years ago
on a few things out of the administration, but overall, he's been much more transparent than the other.
I think he's probably waiting out Jerome Powell. Okay. I think Powell has a lot of problems inside the Fed, and he doesn't need more problems from outside the Fed, but he's getting more problems, getting more pressure, and I think that and there could be a breaking point. It could be Basel III could be the breaking point because the Fed is going to have to regulate all the capital reserve requirements of these banks.
Yes. You and I actually had a great conversation. The video will be edited this weekend, dropping probably Tuesday or Wednesday, about Basel III.
Yeah.
You actually gave an update to your price predictions. You shocked me and the guy that was in line by doing that conversion.
Who was in the middle of a transaction.
You shocked us. He stopped.
Well, are you saying I shouldn't buy this?
He was doing the silver to gold, and you dropped a bomb.
But I think he's absolutely right to do what he wanted. He was a collector in addition to fan of gold.
That's true.
Okay,
that's
because look at the choices he had, and he picked the one that was most collectible.
Isn't that neat? Yeah,
it's good. That's excellent because
cool.
That means he may be in dire straits, and he probably won't sell that coin.
No, that's cool.
And which is the right thing to do. Right. He'll go scrounge around for more silver that's lying in the basement or whatever.
Well, I'll tease it a little bit more, dude. This is what you were referring to. Citibank sees gold.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that because I just mentioned that to somebody in the store last week. We were talking about it. Honestly, and you hear all this talk, gold's going to $4,000. Gold is going to $4,000. And I was saying, no, I bet it goes to $3,000 before we ever see it go on the way to $4,000.
So it's a pit stop, an F1 pit stop of gold down to 3. And then
at least 3.
At least 3. See, that's what really shocked everybody.
Okay, here's the thing. And my contention is, because everybody's saying, well, Basel III will make gold a Tier 1 asset.
Right.
So banks will be stocking up on gold. Well, that doesn't make any sense to me because the key is they have to maintain their capital reserve requirements or they're going to get fined or punished somehow. So let's see, you're a big bank, and the big banks that I'm talking about are the ones that are the subject of the stress tests that the Fed holds every now and then when it seems like the banks are suffering a run on the banks.
Right.
So they have stress tests. A stress test is the ability of a bank to withstand a run in the bank.
Right.
That is how much cash they have on hand. For all these people who are going to come in and say, oh, I don't want a bank check, I want cash. And I'm getting all my money out of the bank. Okay, that's a run in the bank. That's what took place in the 30s. What people don't realize, it wasn't farmers out in the field going in and say, I want all my money out of the bank. It was, if you look at the films, it's all New York bankers or brokers, and they're all wearing suits and Stetsons, and they're banging on the doors of the bank. They want their money back. Okay, so what's a stress test? The ability of a bank to withstand a run on the bank. Okay, so why are they having stress tests? Well, because the run of the banks has already started. People are losing confidence in the banks, and they're partially at the Congress is partially at fault for that, because they have all new banking regulations, because they want to get more information on everybody who has an account in the banks. All right, so it's like the Weimar Republic. The Weimar Republic had to pay reparations for World War I, and Germany couldn't possibly pay those. So what the government did, it said, okay, why don't we just inflate the currency, the mark, a little bit, and that'll make it easier for us to pay our reparations. But when they did that, they destroyed the confidence in the currency among the people. So what happened? Well, the last note they printed was 100 billion marks. Okay, and that's what brought in the NDAP. Was the currency exploding to nothing, so it was worth nothing. That's here they talk about the Beerhor Putsch. That's when Hitler supposedly jumped up in the bar and said,
"Yes,
it ends here."
Okay, right,
but I don't think it was really like that, because during that display of authority assumed by the NDAP, the police came in and arrested a lot of people. And so I don't think Hitler was probably the first person to jump up on the bar. I think he had a few people that he sacrificed to take his place. But I mean, that's all a matter of history. The fact is, we didn't learn anything from the explosive inflation that affected Germany between the First and Second World Wars. And I don't think anybody around the world understood that you mess with the currency, it always has a negative result. And what the Weimar Republic did is they decided to inflate the currency, which would make it easier for them to pay the reparations. But they opened the floodgates, and the rest is history. But that also brought about World War III. And, II, excuse me. I skipped over to World War III, didn't I? I meant still coming.
That's all right. Last thing.
That's going to start in Iran.
Last thing I wanted to cover before we get into
Jazzy.
I'm not going to show that clip. I can't find it. You love Gutfeld, don't you? I can't find. We could go really. All right, so I'll come back to gold in just a second.
This could be really entertaining.
This could really
session.
get crazy here, because I'm a little incensed by some political stuff going on.
Well, let me just finish that thought.
Okay, good.
Okay, take these banks that now have to operate under Basel III.
Right.
They have to increase their capital reserve requirements. I think it's like 4% up to 6-something%, something like that. I keep looking for the numbers and I can't find them.
Yep.
But so they're going to increase the capital reserve requirements of banks. That is what they need to have in Tier 1 assets to keep them safe from downturns. And what this all goes back to 2008, when in this country the banks were too big to fail, so taxpayers bailed them out.
Right.
Okay. They were trying to avoid that, because in other countries that didn't have the money to fall back on, banks failed. Okay, and several big banks in Europe failed. And not just Europe, all over the world, banks were failing because of everybody was blindsided by these markets like the real estate market, et cetera, phony loans and all this other garbage, where money was too easy to come by. And, these banks and the companies or countries behind the banks paid the ultimate price. Okay, so they wanted to avoid that for the future. And the solution they came up with is banks have to have more money in reserve. Now, what are the capital reserves? They're checking accounts, savings accounts, loans, mortgages, everything like that is considered an asset. Okay, well, they are going to make gold a Tier 1 asset. But that no, everybody who's selling gold says that will make gold skyrocket because banks are going to be out there buying gold. Well, how does that make sense? If the reason they would be buying gold is because they have to maintain higher capital reserves. Why would you buy gold? Because gold goes up and then it goes down, and then when it goes down, you now are you're out of compliance with your capital reserve requirements. Doesn't matter how much it is, you're getting punished for doing that. So gold would be the dumbest thing to put in your capital reserves because it goes up and it goes down. Now, how are these prices of gold set? They're set by futures contracts. That's nothing but thin air, okay? You buy a contract, a futures contract, that gold's going to be, I don't know, it's going to be going up to 3,000, then it's going to drop to 2,000. But who determines that? Well, the people who buy these futures contracts,
Traders.
when they buy contracts, they price of gold goes up. So as more of the contracts they buy at higher prices, gold goes up. All right. You get it to a certain point, and strangely enough, when they got to $3,500 in gold, almost immediately it started to drop. Why? Well, let's see. I suppose now people are selling contracts. Okay, and they're really selling them.
Yeah.
Well, so now how do they make money doing that? Okay, well, they sell them at the high, and which means they sell them and they get compensated for selling them. And then when it goes down to 32.75, they cover the short. They buy it back. So they sold it at a high price and they bought it back at a lower price. The gap was, and from all the research I was doing, it turned out it was something like 27 million ounces of gold. But these people who did this gained a $6 billion profit. That is money that is created out of thin air just by betting that gold would go up and then deciding that now it's going down. Okay, when they covered the shorts, they actually bought it at the low price and sold it at the high price. Okay, and the gap, $6 billion. But that's only because they're allowed to do that. Okay, when Basel III goes into effect, those futures contracts and a lot of other types of contracts, options and things, are not assets. Specifically, they're not assets. So they're wasting their time, and banks would be wasting their time sponsoring this stuff, lending the money to some broker to buy futures contracts. Now, the banks have to maintain their capital reserves. So let's say they want to buy gold. Well, just about every big bank has a relationship with some sort of investment house, like J.P. Morgan and Chase, et cetera, et cetera. And Bank of America has Merrill Lynch and maybe others. So let's say they want to put gold in as a tier one asset. They're going to say to these companies, it would be a lot easier for us to buy that gold as an asset to put in our capital reserves if it wasn't $4,000 an ounce, if it was like less than $3,000 an ounce, and even better if it was $2,000 an ounce. So if the people who are saying the banks are going to go out and buy a lot of gold, I don't think they'll buy it unless they can get it down to $2,000 an ounce. Ooh. And what they would do is they would talk to these investment houses and saying, hey, we're not going to back you on these trades because Basel III, according to Basel III, that's thin air. That's nothing. It's not worth anything. It's not an asset. So we're not backing you on those transactions. But if you can, you want us to buy some gold, it better be around $2,000 an ounce. Honestly, I think that's what's going to happen. Banks are not stupid. They're not going to be investing something that's going to turn around and go down and cause them to be punished for going below their capital reserves. So that's why I say it's going to 3. long before it goes to 4 or 5 or wherever everybody says it's going. And I think it's going to go even farther.
Do you believe that in that scenario you laid out, that banks would then buy up the gold at, say, $2,000 an ounce and drive the price up?
I think they will feel comfortable in putting into their capital reserves.
So there is a price where they'll feel comfortable.
But they're not going to follow it up. I mean, that's for the individuals to do. Now,
Interesting.
but what happens, because the price now is a phony price, because it's based on futures contracts.
Not
The
supply
price
and
of
demand.
gold is based on futures contracts.
Yeah.
What should it be based on? Like over time, is a hard and fast law of economics, and that is the price of a commodity is supply and demand. That's the only price that gold should be. And, if you think there's a shortage of gold, talk to somebody in China. Just say, hey, can you tell me how much China has gold? Because they get it the old-fashioned way. They dig it out of the ground at a much lower price than what is shown on the futures price of gold.
All right.
Okay, so now you have my reasoning.
No, you do. You laid it out beautifully. I love the argument.
So the next time you see a YouTube channel where people saying gold's going to be, the banks are going to be buying gold, it's going to $4,000 an ounce. Have them give you the evidence of that and why it's going to $4,000 an ounce.
I still think they're afraid of this. I still think they're going to push to have it delayed indefinitely. At some point.
Oh, that's
some point.
That's it.
Basel
Well,
III.
it's also it's already a 3-year process.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
It's got to start July 1st.
Right.
But so what do you think is going to be done in the first year? It's like herding cats. None of the banks want this because none of them can meet their capital reserve requirements now. That's why some banks steal from people like me. Because all those checks they hold are in their capital reserves.
I see.
Okay.
And they don't want
And
to
if they're not
release
going to
it.
pay me for a week, they're still in their capital reserves. And so they can use that as interest-bearing investments.
Remember I talked to you about this recently, Germany wanting their gold back? Well, Italy is also looking like they're pressing to get their gold repatriated. Of course, they blame Trump. It's an attack on the Fed, geopolitical risk,
What's the timing of this?
probably tariffs.
How old is this article?
June 23rd.
And who's it by?
Financial Times. Some slanted left-wing news rag, I'm sure.
They are, but a lot of people, I talk to people every day about recent history, and nobody is aware of recent history. It's, everything was, the knowledge of what's going on in the world goes back maybe a couple of weeks. People have already forgotten our evacuation from Afghanistan. People have already forgotten, the 2020 election and all the cries of, irregularities that were taking place. People today live in this week, and
The now.
and they
That's
plan
it.
for next week. It's
I'm really
crazy because what people used to do is take years of accumulated knowledge based on events and draw their conclusions from that. And I think that makes sense. Now you're going to start.
Can we go?
This.
Can we go here, or should we not go here? What do you think? Because this is on the political sphere, and I'm good to.
Now we're talking about the IQ of the average voter in New York City, and I think that's a concern.
This is a real concern politically, but
This is a
socially
real concern.
and economically.
This is an
This is
invasion
insane.
it's an invasion from within. It's how this guy ever got into politics in New York City is absolute
For
mystery.
those who don't know, he's from Uganda, or he hasn't even lived here, I don't think, 10 years. Okay, so he is, he's an anti-Semitic Islamo-communist. Okay, he's a Marxist. He really is.
Islamo-Nazi is what
I don't want to say. All right, fine. I try to stay
He
away.
is-
I try to stay
he-
away from that N word.
You and I
okay?
both. We both.
I
believe
really
that
do.
That shouldn't be used.
No.
And in some parts of Europe, you can get into trouble for
Yeah,
using
exactly.
those
I
words.
don't want to go down the
But
that
it's
four-letter
that
word.
he's
No.
the same definition as that, and
This guy.
he doesn't hide his views unless he's in front of a camera. Then he lies.
This guy wants to defund the police. He wants to create safe injection sites. He wants to freeze all rents in New York. He wants to have the government run grocery stores, which is completely insane. I mean, the margins on a grocery store are 2%, if that, maybe 2%. Yeah, let's the government run
when
that.
they were doing well, it used to be 3%.
He wants to make both childcare and transit bus free for everyone. It's free. Everything's free. He is more than just a socialist.
Rent control.
Rent control. I said that. Yes, absolutely. We're going to freeze all rents. Guys, let me just rant for a moment here because this is a real important point. I was looking. I'm a storm chaser wannabe, a meteorologist wannabe. I love tornadoes. So here's the analogy that I was thinking about today as I was heading to your shop. The billowing clouds of ideological insanity are threatening our nation's stability and its future. We've had a tornado of socialism in our land for a while now. Okay, maybe it's an EF1, maybe it's barely there. Fringe groups of democratic socialists, the Bernie Sanders, the AOCs. They've been pushed to the curb mostly by the Democrats.
Don't forget Jazzy.
Jazzy, don't forget Jazzy. She's less of that though. She's a nitwit. Anyway,
wait a minute.
but
the ticket's going to be AOC and Jazzy.
I
vice
think
president.
AOC. This is my point. Let me finish. This is all radically changed though, Tim. In the last decade, it is full on Marxist communism. It's Marxist communism now, typified by this guy right here. Okay, we've seen this grow. Okay, in academia, especially in universities and colleges first.
Yep.
It is spread to all of our liberal cities like San Francisco, Portland, Seattle, Baltimore, Chicago, and now New York. Right?
Yeah.
We're talking like EF4 cyclones of socialism in those cities. But it is even worse than that. We are starting to see full-on Marxism take root in our country. And the socioeconomic disaster that is massive. We have got to stop the madness. I don't know what you're looking up, Tim, but seriously, this is make or break time, I think, for our country, because just because Trump won doesn't mean that this all goes away. Doesn't mean that, they've given up. The left is saying, fine, we're done. No problem. They're regrouping. They're re-strategizing. The tentacles are growing. This is not over yet. In fact, I think it's going to get a lot worse. We can't keep losing cities like this. Yep. We're Americans. Just because you and I don't live in, Boston or New York or some other liberal city doesn't mean it's not going to affect us. This is affecting all of us. Their country is at risk here from within.
Yes.
So when I see a guy like that win, Ronald Reagan would roll over in his grave. This is disgusting. This is vile, disgusting. Attack from the inside on our nation. I am really worried about this, Tim. This fired me up when I saw this.
This is what's happened to the Democratic Party. What do Bobby Kennedy Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, and Joe Manchin from West Virginia, what do they all have in common?
I don't know. I'm still trying to calm down. What? Tell me.
They all left the Democratic Party. They're all leaders,
that's a
prominent
good
Democrats.
point.
They all
Yeah.
left the Democratic Party. All right, so the party is more inclined to be the party of quitters rather than fight these people. And I think the overriding attitude of the people in the Democratic Party who have some brains is that we'll just get killed in the next election. So there's nothing we can do about it. And they're not. But what they should be doing is fighting against this stuff. But they don't have any allies in California. They don't have any allies in New York. They don't have any allies in Chicago. You take the big cities in this country, and they're more radical than you can possibly imagine. Why? Because they don't have any. They don't have the smarts of any Democratic Party leader. And here's the deal: they put themselves back years by putting Joe Biden in the presidency. They set themselves back years. If Joe Biden were as smart as he ever was, if he was at the top of his game, he was still a stupid guy.
Yeah, but he was a pawn. They were pushing the
Well,
Bernie
that's
Sanders wing
the-
of the Democratic Party to the side.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, AOC is going to be the nominee.
I
The,
love that.
the cancer of communism is spreading in our country.
It is, and it isn't anywhere else. That's the other thing.
That's-
European
think about
countries, which have all suffered under
Yeah.
communism, they're all going the other way.
Well, can I show you what I got to show you? You'll like this. Trump said this. Was it yesterday? It finally happened. The Democrats have crossed the line. Zoran Memdani, a 100% communist lunatic, has just won the Dem primary. He's on his way to become mayor. It's true. They're going to split the other vote, and he's going to get in. Cuomo's going to split the vote, and this guy's going to be the mayor. That's the end of New York. They are hosed if this guy gets in. You know why? You know what's going to happen? All the rich, by the way, all the rich or middle class and rich voted for this guy. It was the working class that didn't vote for him in the primary. They're gonna roll out these communist, ideals, right? He's gonna pay for everything, right? And then everybody's gonna leave. Everybody's gonna leave the city that has any money.
It's entirely accurate. The wealthy people or the people, who at least have a little bit of brains, they voted against Cuomo. Cuomo is the problem.
Cuomo was a horrible candidate.
He
I get it.
is
Yes.
the problem.
He was the
because
problem. Yes.
what they have. What was their choice in the primary? This moron, idiot, communist, or Cuomo.
Wow.
And so they got rid of Cuomo. Now the worst thing that Cuomo can do is run as an independent.
That's what he's going to do.
That's the worst thing he can do. That will destroy New York forever.
Oh, I think we have 5 mayors. Maybe I'm wrong. I think there was like 5 mayors of cities in the United States that are Muslim, right? But it's more than that. It's not just that they're Muslim. This guy is a radical. If you read him, a radical Islamist.
Yeah.
This is dangerous to our country, politically, societally, and economically. So, anyway, I was just
We may have to drop some of these
frustrated.
30,000-pound bombs on New York.
No, they're blowing up from the inside, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's
They're
true.
going to blow up.
What was that movie, Escape from New York?
Escape from New York. That's what we all need to do. Okay. All right. I'm not going to do any more politics, but just for those who go like, Yankee, why did you go down this route? I just want to throw this up. One of the penalties of refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by your inferiors. Plato. It's very important we discuss this stuff. All right, guys. Let's get to the Q&A. We've jabbered long enough. A lot of people have been putting in super chats, and I told them that they would be first in line. So let me roll through the super chats first.
Okay, well, you got me looking at Play-Doh.
All right, I know. Well, if what happens is if I put this up, you get very distracted. It's whipping by now. Hold on, it'll catch up. All right, so let me get through some of these. STFU and Stack Silver PMG super chat $2. I want to be like Tim when I grow up, he says.
What makes you think I'm grown up?
I know, right? You're just a big baby. Oh man. And please for me, put Hallmark Tim in the chat. That's going to be a giveaway requirement, I think. No, it's not. I'm just kidding. All right, so let's see. Ralph on the right super chatted $2. Thank you, buddy. Pete Clark, thanks for being a member for 24 months, 2 years. I love it. Being a great 2 years with Yankee and Tim. Thank you. Tiger Stacker is in the house. He super chatted $5. Hi, Tim and Bubbles. You got to put Hallmark Tim and Bubbles from now on there, Tiger. All right? He's Sam super chatted $10. Can we get some love for Stacker Boxes by Technically Stuff? Stacker Boxes. Are those the? I think I might have. Those are the wooden boxes. I think I have a few of those. Those are really cool boxes. Thank you for the $10 super chat, Sam. I love it. $2 super chat from T. Are people selling gold because they are broke?
Sorry. Say that again.
Are people? See, you're distracted by this scroll. It's like it's mesmerizing, isn't it? It's like
you get some great people. His comments are outstanding.
They are. We'll get to them.
But
it's like a hypnotic thing to you as it scrolls by your monitor.
I watch way too much Fox News. I should be watching your chat.
It's very entertaining. T super chatted $2. He said, are people selling gold because they're broke?
I don't get that feeling.
Really?
Yeah, I don't get that feeling.
I see them selling their silver because they're broke.
Well,
I'm seeing that.
I've seen most people have a better use for the money, and they don't want to go borrow it.
The guy that was there today, wonderful guy, really enjoyed talking with him. He's selling silver bars.
Yes.
Paying his taxes. He says things are tough now. I have to do it. He didn't want to do it. Most of the people, I'm telling you, most of the people, I think, don't want to exchange their silver for fiat currency. I don't see a lot of people doing that with gold.
Well, but stackers have always considered gold and silver currency.
Correct.
Okay. So if you have, like I have 3 tax bills coming due.
3?
And they're a lot more than they have ever been. Well, I guess that happens every year, doesn't it? They go up every year.
Don't they? Well, if we were down in Florida, would we be able to pay our taxes with gold and silver? Not that you would want to.
I'm not sure.
I don't think you can.
Sure. I'd like
Maybe
to.
your state tax.
I have a lot of silver that I could use to pay my taxes.
If they had that
if
option,
I can find somebody
right?
to take them.
Maybe state. I don't know. That's something I need to check on. Maybe somebody in the chat will check on that. But yes, that would be interesting if you could do it. I think gold, not so much. Silver, I think there are a lot of people starting to become financially challenged, and they're parting with their silver. Yankee says, Tiger Stacker, super chat of $5. Yankee, we all understand Tim's opinion on the gold to silver ratio, but what is Tim's opinion on the SBR, silver to bubbles ratio? Dude, what? I cannot believe I let that comment in the video. I almost edited it out, but I laughed. And anytime I laugh at something you put in there, I usually leave it in the video. And I'll never live that down. All right, Jordan.
We just have to get a bigger laugh.
Jordan Roper Show, thank you for the $2. Big Test Unit, super chatted $2. I believe the new norm on the GSR is 70 to 75 for the GSR. That's what he thinks, in his humble opinion.
Well,
it's going to go lower than that, I think, one day. In my lifetime,
the silver's not really in any jeopardy. It's relatively inexpensive, but it is still controlled by the COMEX. That's their right. Yep. So it's not going to make dramatic moves yet. But I think when and if gold goes down, it'll drag silver with it.
I don't know if I'll still have a channel. I don't know if you'll still have a shop. But one day, when the COMEX collapses, I don't care what I'm doing. I'm going to interview you. I want to talk to you because that will be an epic day when they lose control.
Well, I mean, they might just change the
rules.
The rules.
I know. It'll all be cash. We'll settle in cash.
And
we'll settle in credit. We'll settle in digital currency.
I wish that Basel III were being implemented all in the same year because it would be a wonderful lesson in economics to see what happens. And it's been like this forever. First, we had this savings and loan bank, collapsing crisis, and they had to start picking away at Glass-Steagall to solve that crisis. But after they eliminated Glass-Steagall, that's when we got these banks that have way, way, way too much money under management.
All right, I've just turned on the Q&A. You can switch to that. I'm going to work through these super chats first, but Tim, you can see the questions.
I can, yes.
So you can cut me off if you see something good, but I will need to go through this. So Ken Duval super chatted $5. What's the chances there are unmelted bags of gold coins in Fort Knox? Unmelted bags of gold.
Well, since they have melted coins in bags or whatever, the blocks at Fort Knox, there's no reason why they can't have bags of unmelted coins. I'm not sure. It depends on if they have to use those in trade, they all should be pretty much the same. Although they do have melted coins, which are probably still 90% gold in some blocks.
Out of time 247 super chatted $2. Great live show. Thank you. Nick's Coins. Hey, Tim, before you're going, Tim, I will be headed your way in a couple weeks to visit your store from the vacation land. I think she's up in Maine here. Have silver ready for me to buy, and I want Yankee's parking spot. Well, I biked in today, so I didn't want to take a parking spot. So to Nick, that would be awesome. I would love to meet you finally. Thank you for that $10 super chat. Please come on down and visit Tim. Just let me know ahead of time when you're going to be there.
Okay, you almost finished with those?
Yeah, well, go ahead. Give me.
No, they're getting out of hand.
Well, we've got like 1,445 people in the chat. They all get out of hand sometimes. Go ahead. What do you see? You want me to scroll up?
Go back to the beginning. Yeah,
all right, go up to the beginning here. All right, there you go. That's as high as I can go.
Okay, people have asked me many times if I'm melting down 90%. No, but I'm still buying 90%. I have a lot of it, and I have a lot of customers for it. So 90% is, that's what I enjoy because, in every bag of Mercury dimes, there's got to be at least one 16D,
You're hoping. I want to see that.
I'm a lifelong coin collector.
Yes.
So I love 90%.
So, Jordan, thank you so much for that $5 super chat. I really appreciate it. And Tiger super chat at $5. And the Fed, the producers of the rotten rigged wheel. Oh, okay. Tiger. Gee.
Next question.
Harsh.
When do I stack diamonds and gems? I would leave that alone because everything in diamonds and every gem is controlled by someone else, likely outside this country. So you're just getting yourself into a place where you might stack something that all of a sudden becomes worthless.
Trevor's asked a really good question, and I know you're going to bring up the tax implication on this, Tim.
Where is it?
I'm reading the super chats.
Okay.
I'm going to have to hide this.
What is that
Q&A.
question?
Listen, Trevor, $10 super chat. Tim and Yankee, why is Trump so pro-surveillance finance via stable coins? He signed a bill, no CBDC, and continues to sign bill after bill in favor of stable coins. Stable coins are just as bad. All right, I'm going to take a crack at it, then Tim. Trevor, you're right. Absolutely. I believe stable coins are the Trojan horse for a central bank digital currency. I am absolutely against them. I think the Fed is playing a dangerous game working with the likes of Circle, on stable coins. It's still wrong. Now, why do I think Trump's so pro? I think his son Barron and his other sons are. I think Barron's made like multi-million dollars on digital currencies and crypto, I should say. I think he's just following some advice that I think is really bad. He needs to be very careful about setting up a crypto reserve and going all in on crypto. That could really, really bankrupt us. My thoughts.
Almost all cryptocurrencies are denominated in dollars.
Correct.
And most of the trading of things like Bitcoin are done by companies that are based in the United States or at least do their work in the United States,
Right.
which opens the door to the IRS to mountains and mountains of capital gains tax. The capital gains in cryptocurrencies dwarfs everything else.
So you're saying he doesn't truly buy into it. It's a way to get more revenue. That's
is.
the only
It
reason.
is. It
He
is.
hasn't truly bought into the crypto crap. He just wants
If I were
the tax
president,
revenue.
I would look at everything and I go, wow, we're talking $8 trillion right now.
You better watch it.
Look at all those transactions. Now, Kamala Harris would look at that crypto and she'd say, wow, we got to have unrealized capital gains.
Yeah, that's insane. No, I
that's the
think,
same thing.
but what Trevor is saying here is very important. It is a dangerous game with the surveillance financial acts of stable coins, CBDC, crypto. It is
The
wrong,
biggest problem
dangerous.
in CBDCs is there are 200 and something number of countries in the world. You can't have a digital currency without the agreement of every one of those
I'm
countries.
afraid that central banks are all starting to get in agreement with this, even ours.
Central banks all want a digital currency. Why?
They all want
it's so you can cheat on your debt. There's only one reason to have a digital currency, and that is it.
They may want it to cheat on the debt. I think governments want it for surveillance and track and trace. They want to know what you're spending, when you're spending it. They want to be able to artificially stimulate your crypto wallet controlled by a central bank with your digital dollars on a single ledger that they can say, Tim, guess what? You need some of that stimmy? Here it is. You just got to use it in the next 48 hours or it's gone. It's the way to gin up the economy.
Is there a country in the world where you can't relate their currency to the dollar?
I don't think so.
There isn't.
No.
How many countries in the world can you relate to a single digital currency? How many countries can you link, in a way of doing commerce?
I think it starts with the central banks doing
Okay.
cross
The
international.
biggest advocate of a central bank digital currency is the European Union, for one obvious reason. The European Union, the euro, was dreamed up out of thin air. It has no standing, and there's no way of any European country to pay its debt.
See what you did, Trevor? You get us on this conversation, and then we go round and round in circles. I'm just jumping off the game. I'm jumping off the wheel. I'm not the wheel names. I'm jumping off the parts
people
wheel.
like what's his name? Larry Summers. Is his name Larry? Is there Summers, right? Summers and Greenspan travel the world saying in 5 years the euro will become the world's reserve currency. Okay, maybe if the countries that make up the European Union had any way of paying their debt, and they don't. They don't have any way of paying their debt. So
we don't either, Tim. Newsflash.
Except
we don't.
that our debt is at least a number that we can refer to.
Well, that's true. We do know a scary number. 34 trillion.
We
That's
issue
scary.
treasuries, don't we?
Yes, and for now
And
they want them. They want
Actually,
our
some
IOUs.
people actually buy them.
They actually do want it.
But what's happened? Let's say Spain, which is drowning in debt. They're drowning so much they didn't even want to pay their membership dues in
NATO?
NATO. But how do they pay their debt? They can't issue bonds. Okay, and the ECB can issue bonds. But they tried that for Spain. Nobody would buy them. So how does the European get out of this? A digital currency.
All right, let's move on. RT1986, Super Chat $2. Yo-Yo, Tim and Yankee, please. Oh, thank you. Richie loves the videos. Well, thank you for the Super Chat. MP68, great show. Thanks all that you guys do, $10. Tiger, another $5. Broke says, the broke stacker. Tiger Stacker, should we call Yankee Stacking's wheel the Comex wheel? Because it's rigged. All right, do you get any more questions over here? Because Tiger, you're killing me, man. Why is platinum up 33%? Dave wants to know.
Good question.
$5 super chat.
It just that it went up one day dramatically, and a couple days later it fell dramatically. I think the problem with platinum, and all the platinum metals, by the way, are based in Russia. Russia controls a lot of that market, and I think that people just are unsure how much platinum and how much palladium they have and they control, and I think people are trying to find out.
The Muse Reindeer says, should I exchange 20 ounces of silver for platinum? Now, I think you stack silver for a reason, and I stack my silver and gold for reasons that haven't changed. So I like to target and buy what I'm after and keep what I have. So I wouldn't exchange it. If you want some platinum, go ahead. But to me, that is a play in the market.
I mean, if you really love platinum, go ahead and stack it. Doesn't matter, because it'll always, the price may not be the same, but it'll always be convertible to something else.
28 Baby Shark Super Chat $5. Are we on the path to a recession? Also, what will happen to precious metals when a recession hits?
I don't think we're on the path to a recession yet. I think if
there's
Trump can't get the cooperation of Congress, we're in bad shape.
Yeah. If the big beautiful bill passes,
You know,
welcome
that doesn't
recession.
pass.
It's over. What happens to precious metals?
Instant recession.
I know.
It just the
like a light
attitude
switch.
of the people will crumble.
Now, I've done videos on what happens over the past, if you look at the history, to precious metals, gold and silver, during a recession. Gold usually goes down initially. Silver goes down much more initially. When the Federal Reserve steps in, cuts rates, starts QE, does all their machinations, plays the games, that's usually when gold goes back up and silver goes up even more. That's usually what happens, Baby Shark.
Yep, but in the future, it's got to be supply and demand.
Nicholas, Super Chat $2. Where will we be able to sell silver if it explodes? I mentioned Dave and I
if
discussed
it
this
explodes?
on the video. Yeah. How about you? Silver goes to $150. I know it's crazy in your mind, but if it goes to 150, which by the way is the all-time record high, inflation adjusted. By the way.
Yep.
What happens? What happens to where do you sell it?
If it goes anywhere near there, I'll be selling all mine. I probably have to lock the doors, but I would definitely sell.
Katie, bar the door.
And
You can see me
when you knock
outside.
on the door and say, "Hey, can I sell you a 100-ounce bar?"
Will I be on the outside of your door, like a speakeasy, or inside, like open up a little thing, What are you doing? You were buying or selling? I'm trying to sell.
Okay, fractional silver.
Yes,
it's more expensive than 1 ounce, so I wouldn't. If you don't mind spending more money than stacking fractional silver, it's your choice. Do I think silver will hit $50 by 2026? Nope. I think it's more likely to go down. What is the implementation of AI and all the possible influence on gold and silver prices?
That is a great question, Tyler. AI is
Boy,
huge.
I think it's
Wild card in
having
the next few
enough problems. AI is having enough problems being established because there are too many people who don't understand where it's valuable. I mean, there's some obvious places like in medicine. I mean, IBM has worked in this with Watson.
Energy. Wait for it to take over and show us ways to leverage new areas of energy like we can never imagine. at this
There are a lot of sources
That's
of
huge.
evidence that nobody's. But
AI will help
okay,
a lot.
well,
in that
let's take a renewable source of energy that could power the world forever, and it's called hydrogen.
There you go.
And so, what does AI think of hydrogen as the end all be all of
knows?
energy?
Maybe it will come up with an economically
It's the
feasible
same thing.
way.
It's like,
I don't know. But
please show me a picture of whatever what was Thomas Jefferson, and you get something completely off the price.
I've gone down the rabbit hole in AI.
Well,
artificial
depends-
general
it
intelligence,
depends on-
artificial super intelligence, and the changes that are occurring so fast. I don't know if you ever heard of Moore's Law. This is the techie stuff that I get into it. Every 7 years, processors double in their speed,
Yes.
in their ability. Moore's Law. And it actually proved itself true over the last few decades, right?
Yeah.
AI is doubling. It used to be doubling in 7 months. Now it's doubling in 4 months.
Yep.
It's insane
But-
what's happening with artificial intelligence.
There are too many people who have no idea what AI is.
I know, they
and there
don't.
are too many companies selling AI that has nothing to do
There's a
with
lot of hype surrounded, but
There's a
I'll
lot of
grant that.
hype.
I'll grant that.
I
Yes.
mean,
Now I don't know what it'll do to gold and silver prices. I don't know where that connection. is.
AI will make great strides as long as it's good for people. And when it becomes bad for people, the whole class of software will collapse.
Okay.
Because you can't harm the people with AI.
Here's the
And
problem.
there are too many stupid people out there.
Here's the problem, Tim. All right, I've studied a lot of this stuff. If we let it go too far, at some point, artificial intelligence will be given so much control and power that we won't be able to pull the plug because we won't know what the ramifications of pulling the plug are. It is something that we need to address, and we need to address it now. There is some serious ramifications for letting AI go any further without proper controls and regulation in place. I think Trump needs to step up. I think the government needs, I'm not a big regulation guy, but this one is an existential threat. Needs to be dealt with.
Well, it's one of the reasons that Hegseth is in the Department of Defense.
Very important.
I mean, yes, it's something they're considering. All the possibilities.
Thank you, John Lint, for that $2 super chat. And Scrap Metal Racing super chat, $5 is the easiest part. The easy part is done. Patriotic Americans need to let their balls drop. Tired of taking, want to see some action. Woo! All right, Scrap Metal Racing. You want to see action. That's what we do. Go ahead. You see something there?
There are a lot of interesting questions.
Go.
Silver certificates. Most coin dealers have boxes of them. And judge for what you see on eBay. If people are paying $2 a piece, that's probably the price. If people are paying $5 a piece, that's probably the price. But look at the quality as well, because there are lots of silver certificates that are really trashed. But keep in mind, the last three, let's see, this was 1957, 57A, and 57B. They were making $500 million every month. Okay, so there are lots of them out there.
John Rock, thank you for the $5 super chat. Remember, Reagan gave us no-fault divorce and birthright citizenship. He was not perfect. Yeah, I know, John. He wasn't perfect. Iran-Contra and other things. He was not a perfect president. He was a great president, not perfect. I think these two were horrible things. Yes, culturally, we have gone through massive decline in the family. Societally, we are truly, truly struggling. And it's getting worse, especially in our cities, but also in suburbia. Even in rural America, we have major, major problems. We got to get this country back on track. We're going to give our hearts back to God. John Lint, super chat at $5. Are there any non-precious coins that hold value in a prepper stack? If so, are $half in that group? Any non-precious metal coins that hold value in a prepper stack? Copper, maybe, but I don't want to be stacking copper. That's a base metal, not a big copper stacker. Some people do. Some people think that would be useful in a prepper stack, but no, I wouldn't do that. $half, are you talking clad? I don't think so. I'm sticking with constitutional metal. Article 1, Section 10, silver and gold. Smile Time, 25, super chat, $10, paid $1 for elderberry syrup from a dear woman with no assets. She agreed to the deal in exchange for giving me the 3 values later that evening. A walking liberty, says $1, silver spot collector. That's great. Awesome. Well done. Thank you for that $10 and for that comment. Yes. What do you got? You want more?
Yeah, don't go too far.
Okay, there you go.
Should I exchange 20 ounces of silver for platinum if you like platinum?
No.
And if that's what you want to have in your
the
possession,
exchange.
go to it. I don't have any platinum to sell, though.
Don't exchange it.
What's your favorite teacher in school?
Oh, Poker John. What's your favorite teacher?
His name is Aliopoulos. He was a science teacher, and his approach to science was there's so much in science that you can be a fan of science or a student of science for your whole life every day because there's that much science all around you. And he made science interesting, really interesting.
Mrs. Grody was my favorite female teacher. Wonderful woman. Really, really get the class in the palm of her hand. She could control the class like a maestro and make it fun.
What did she teach?
She taught English. Yep.
That you didn't know.
Amazing.
She must have been really good looking.
No.
You had trouble remembering.
At this point, yeah. We didn't think I was third grade, dude. Come on. But Mr. Worcester, Ty Worcester, he was our math teacher, and he had a line, math is fun. Made it fun to learn. All right. What else you got?
Okay, you think melting of 90% will affect the premiums on it? It's not being done in large numbers yet. And I'd be very surprised if 90% disappeared because people were melting it down.
Tim, do not answer any questions related to bikes at all.
Are they some here?
No. Just ignore them. Pass them over.
Price is relatively the same. Thoughts on stacking call sovereign coins versus generic rounds. Well, if you want to use your purchases as, say, I don't know, currency.
Mm-hmm.
An
SHDF barter control.
Having ugly sovereign coins is probably not as good as just having pretty rounds.
No, I disagree. I think it shows more likely to be real if it's
harder to do the math. Okay, look, it's like the culls that people buy most often are called Morgan dollars.
Well,
okay.
That's not.
Here's the problem with Morgan dollars, and compared to silver round.
Yes.
The posted price of silver, you can see when you hold that silver round in your hand, but you have to do the math. And let's see. Well, it starts with 0.77344 of a troy ounce per dollar. But then it's lost a lot because it's a call. So
I don't like wear and tear on my constitutional silver. I avoid the Morgans and P's, stick with the dimes, quarters, and halves for barter. But the best call is a call American Eagle. That's what you want.
Then
low premium.
Then it becomes a generic round.
It does, but it's an eagle. People recognize that. All right.
Wait. Let's see.
Okay, go ahead. Remember, no bite questions.
This is very interesting. Do you think the crash of the dollar would crash equities and gold miners?
Yeah,
actually, a crash of the dollar would crash everything. But gold will still maintain some value.
Ooh.
How to measure it is a different story.
There it is. You heard it right there. I should cut that out and put that in a short. When there's a crash of the dollar, there is an asset that's going to handle that better than anything else, and that's going to be gold. I'm telling you now.
Now, why would the dollar crash? What's the alternative?
What will precipitate
what's the alternative?
An SHDF, a collapse?
If the dollar collapses, what's the alternative?
We're in bad shape. Bad shape, and we're going to be worse shape when that happens.
Do you predict a massive Fed interest rate cut?
Yeah,
no.
Yeah,
not
do
a
you picture? How about any cut? They were saying they're going to be cuts coming.
Well,
now,
remember I said it does make sense for them to cut all last year.
Yes, they did.
A lot of time has passed.
When did they cut? Was there an event like I don't know, an election? Was there? And there was a cut? Oh, I'm sorry. I should not imply that the Fed is political at all.
Oh, yeah, we know they are, though.
They're supposed to be above all that, you know.
You know, it's...
Did you watch him grilled? Did you see Jerome on Capitol Hill? I watched that.
I watched a lot of that, yeah.
Oh,
Which one are you talking about?
No, just all the questions at him and this grandstanding by the congressmen and women. It's like, oh my word. And he's just sitting there. He's like, no, we're independent. We're data-driven. We're not.
That's right. He takes a lot of abuse. It's completely unnecessary.
Woo. Do you think he's going to get replaced? Do you think they've lined up the replacement?
I think he is giving up before being replaced.
You think he quits?
I think he's had enough. He's
going to stay to the end of his term next year. He doesn't
have the backing of his own Fed governors for everything. Every problem they try to solve, he gets a negative reaction from some of these people.
Oh, there's Boris. He's sent a $2 super chat. Platinum is on a tear. How high will it go? I have no idea. Everyone's talking about platinum. How high will it go, Tim?
Well, this is interesting.
Oh, he doesn't want to answer the platinum
on this Fed
question.
interest rate cut.
Okay.
47 wants a 2-point cut. What do you mean by 2 points?
He wants 2 points cut. 2 basis points.
Oh, basis points.
Yeah.
Well, that's not what 2 points is.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Will Powell get canned? You think he's going to quit? All right.
I think he's in good standing. He has to make that decision himself.
Answer Boris's question. How high will platinum go?
Platinum? I don't think it'll go back to 2000.
Okay.
I just don't think it'll get that high. Well, it's all the people who bought it are my age and maybe closer, maybe a little younger, and everybody got burned with platinum.
Be careful. Don't get burned with platinum. I know people are buying platinum not as a prepper stacker, not as a stack and hold. They're buying it to flip it. I know that's what you're thinking.
Interesting question. Did Bubbles bike?
I told you to stay away from the bike questions.
Do you have a basket?
I do. No, have you? No, of course not. A basket. First of all, I was borrowing Mrs. Yankee's bike. Second of all, it's a unisex bike. It's not a girl's bike. They don't make girls and boys bikes anymore. It's all unisex now, man. Get with it. When was the last time you bought a bike? When was the last time you rode a bike?
Well, it was a while ago.
I would love to see you on that bike, though. That would be fun.
Yeah,
it would be. You would love it.
Yeah, at least I wouldn't ride it side saddle, so my skirt wouldn't get.
Dude, you're killing me here. Clement Dwyer, Super Chat, $10. Tim, are you overloaded with constitutional silver?
I have a lot of it. It doesn't bother me one bit. I am overloaded with bars and rounds of silver. I mean, really overloaded.
At all, huh?
Yeah, someday Yankees is going to go there. He's going to find all the boxes he hasn't seen, and boy, he'll be asking Silver Dave for all those display cases back. So
El Macano Super Chat at $5. No Hallmark. Tim is a swell guy. Bubbles on the other hand has everything to do with the rig wheel. Come on, guys. Tim, a tiger. $5. Tim did a video on cracking proof state coins. How do you handle proof coin sets? Yeah, Tiger, that was a phenomenal video. I loved it. It's I think it's your best video ever. Mods, please put in Tiger Stacker's channel in the chat. And everybody, I know he gives me a hard time about the rig wheel, but he's a great guy. You got to sub him. All right. So check that out. And the question is good. He went to his dealer and they were cracking the coins out of the proof sets and just throwing them into a bin. That's how they were going to get rid of them, not in the sets. What did you think about that?
Well, I still have some people who buy proof sets, so I'm not going to take the time to
do. You could give that to me to do. Actually, I've done that. I've cracked them out.
Yeah.
My whole Patriot pistol is silver quarters from proof sets.
Okay, this is an interesting question. Needs to be answered. Do you agree with Margaret Thatcher's comments on socialism? Yes. She says socialism is fine until you run out of other people's money. That's essentially what she said.
So true. It's a lie, and it's been proven wrong.
Well, the thing about socialism is
over by every nation that's tried it.
Insisting it's an economic system. It is has never been an economic system. It's always been a political system. And the result of socialism is the strong man always ends up on top and everybody else suffers. And these people who call themselves socialists like AOC, she doesn't have enough IQ to understand that it's not an economic system.
What's the quote? I think I'm probably going to butcher it. I think I've heard socialism is communism without the guns.
That could be. Yeah, that makes sense.
More super chats are coming in, and we are now over $166. So I got to give an extra silver ounce away. I'm gonna put the giveaway tray together, guys. All right. And no, this is not in the giveaway tray. I can't give away the 1 ounce gold. Gold will be coming up. We'll give away gold at the 200,000 subscriber mark, guys. So please subscribe if you haven't already. But let's see. We've got.
In the meantime, we'll be selling it for spot.
Yes. Polecat super chatted up $2. Stack premium. Oh, sorry. Stack pre 82 pennies. 95% copper. Free to stack. What are your sense on the whole copper penny thing? Yeah, I know. Some people are stacking them.
We get bags of pennies.
Yep.
Pennies come in from collectors who have taken everything that had any value out before they bring their pennies in. So when they say, well, these are wheat pennies, they should be worth the 2 or 3 cents a piece. Nope, they're worth a penny a piece. You take all the good dates out of them, there's no reason for me or anyone else to go through them. There was some other interesting...
Oh, no. Tim, is it true that Yankee rides a Chinese bike? Oh, stop it, OC Stacker. No more bike questions, guys. You're killing me. I don't always ride my wife's e-bike, but is it true that Yankee rides a silver lumberjack? Stop.
Yankee has one great bike. I don't care.
I have a regular bike, okay? The old school.
When you were driving to, that's your
No,
wife's
that's... Oh, that is not my bike.
It is a nice bike, though. That is a really nice... It's well made.
Thank you. Thank you, Tim.
It's got a little bit of extra juice in it.
I don't
Compliments of a battery,
think I
guess.
Ever ride that e-bike to his place again.
I think. Listen, if I were going to ride a bike, I'd ride an
You
e-bike.
got to try one though.
E-bikes are really
all right,
come a
I've
long
been
way.
fighting just on the bike thing. Okay, so Mrs. Yankee and I just got back from a bike trip. We went to Pennsylvania and rode the Great Allegheny Passage from southern Pennsylvania into Maryland. Cumberland, Maryland is where we stopped. It was about 34 miles one way. We did another 10 miles the next day, so a total of 44. It was a blast. 4 people went, another couple, her cousin and spouse, and Mrs. Yankee and I. All 3 of them rode their e-bikes. I rode my regular bike because I've been fighting going to an e-bike. That is going over the eastern continental divide. 2,400 feet up. That was a slog. And I enjoyed it. I loved it.
Do these e-bikes have solar panels?
No, they don't have solar panels. No.
Don't they sometimes have to pedal on their own?
No. It's a Type 1, so it's a pedal assist e-bike.
Okay.
There's no throttle. You pedal, and you can adjust how much assist. It makes you feel like you're an Olympic bicyclist, like you're doing the Tour de France. You really can make people make you feel really strong on a bike.
Pedaling attached to a generator or something?
No, it assists the pedals by a percentage, so you can jack. You have to try one. You'll love it. I've been resisting getting one, okay, because there's something in the back of my mind that says, Yankee, you're getting old when you have to do an e-bike. So I've been like, no. I'm 59 now. But Mrs. Yankee told me, said, if you want to keep doing bigger and bigger, bike trips with me, she wants to get me an e-bike for my 60th. I think I'm going to have to get
Nothing wrong with that.
But it will not have a basket. It will not be a woman's bike. Not that what she has is a woman's bike. Okay, enough of that.
So I don't know. You rearrange all these things.
I did. Do you see anything else in there you like? Tim, do you think gold will be confiscated? We get that all the time. Every single live stream, we get a confiscation question. I have a whole playlist on gold and silver confiscation. Playlist. That's right. Multiple videos on my channel. Go to my channel on YouTube. Go under playlists. Look it up. Or mods, you can put in the link to the playlist. Discuss it at length. And bottom line, no, I don't think it's going to happen. John Ruck, super chatted $2. Bubbles Bell, big boy basketball. Freeman McCoy, he enjoys our content. Keep it up. Super chat $10. Stacking Inspector Super Chat $2. Will it ever be legal to melt pennies?
No, I don't think so.
Not copper. I don't think you can.
Well, you can't now. I mean, pennies, but
Eh.
it should be everything else pretty soon.
Eric Bauer Super Chat $5. I don't always ride my wife's bike, but when I do, they call me Bubbles. I give up. You're killing me. Oh, man. Wow. Peaceful Super Chat $10. Looking to buy raw pre-33 coins. Yes. I'm stacking these guys. These are my gold target for stacking. I'm trying to build another tube. Get the raw pre-33. Premiums are low. All right. BU, AU, XF grade mean much. No. If you're stacking these, not collecting them, forget the grade. Just get it at the lowest you can. And Tim had a whole bunch laid out on the table today when I was recording. The guy that bought him went with a higher grade. Oh, no, he went with a better date, a lower mintage.
Yeah.
But he was looking at the AU, right? Was he almost...
I think that was more like an XF.
XF, okay. He XF, he's a collector. If you're stacking them, get them raw, get them jewelry grade, get them cleaned. If you're stacking them like I am, all right? If you're a collector, that's different, but those are a great target.
A lot of good questions there. They got kind of out of order. Somebody asked me if silver goes up more, will dealers stop buying it for spot price?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of, I want to say both wholesalers and dealers are now buying things below spot. And it's just a function of how much is coming in. If you spend all day buying things, I look at the wholesalers' prices to see what they're paying. The prices are coming down for almost everything, just because there's so many people selling stuff. And, wholesalers have to protect their interests and dealers have to protect their interests. And some of the things that we're buying, I look at the price list and I see what people are paying for them. It's kind of shocking that some of the margins are really stretching out. And let's see, do I work out? I try to stay healthy. I don't really have a workout routine. And I think because my insurance company is willing to pay for it, I may join a gym pretty soon.
I wish you could bike
just
with
because
me.
there's a good one right near where I work, and I go to a Panera Bread to get sandwiches every now and then, and it's right there. Brand new gym.
Well, I'm hoping to continue biking with an e-bike throughout my 70s and into my 80s. That's my goal, to keep my balance and to be able to. That's my goal.
Biking is a good exercise.
Yeah, low impact. I think it's great aerobic exercise. All right, so we got T Super Chat $2. Tim, is a Capital Plastics holder okay for gold coins? Capital Plastic holder. Do you know what that is?
They are, but if you want them in plastic, I would still get them in capsules and have a good place to put the capsules. Everything I have is in boxes, just in order. A lot of people are buying capsules, for the Krugerrand or American Eagle or Buffalo, it's all 32 millimeters.
Yep.
The capsules for the Maple Leafs are the same as they are for a 50-cent piece.
Right.
They're 30 millimeters. Capsules don't hurt. It's just that it's not an easy way because I need to make good use of the space.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a lot, there's nothing wrong with having your gold coins in a tube.
Brett Cubbage, Super Chat at $5. He has a great question. I get this all the time, too, in our live streams. What percentage of gold should be in your stack? Oh, boy. That depends on a lot of things, Brett. All right? So your risk tolerance, your age, how much money you have, what other, investments you do, everything, right? I just started a year ago, and I have over 200 ounces of silver. I just got my first 1/10 ounce of gold. Well, first of all, good on you, Brett, for 200 ounces of silver and getting that 10th ounce of gold. So your buy ratio is around 2,000 ounces of silver to 1 ounce of gold. That's high, but it's high for me, I should say. I'm usually around the 400 ounces to 1. But then again, I told you how old I am. I'm 59. If you're, 29, that might make more sense. More silver. How much volatility do you want? What's your exit strategy? Why are you stacking your silver and gold? And of course, how much money you have to put towards it. So figure out your buy ratio. Right now, again, that seems a little high for me. I do like gold and silver for similar but yet distinctive reasons. But yeah, I did a video on what to buy, how much silver and how much gold for your budget. Okay, I don't have that link handy. Maybe the mods do, but I did do a video on that. Sometime you got to check that out. John Ruck, Super Chat, $2. Did anyone try but did not get 250th Army ASE Mint? I got the 250th Army ASE, American Silver Eagle. The anniversary one. I got up. I was online. I clicked, and I was successful. I got it. So did Silver Dragons. So we'll be showing those when they arrive. And finally, G Forbes, Super Chat at $5. Ever travel through Indiana? Find any good LCSs? Still looking. G Forbes. One of the things that I provide to my members at any level is a member fed, member managed database of local coin shop dealers around the country. So it's crowdsourced. It's curated. I double check it every so often to make sure things are not squirrely on it. But if you're interested, check out becoming a member. Email me, all my members, every member listening right now, not subscribers, that's free, but paid members. Email me and I will add you to that list, that database of local coin shop dealers, and maybe you'll find something good in Indiana. People rate them, rank them, talk about them on that database. So. All right. What other questions, Tim?
Okay.
Almost at 200 in Super Chats. I'm going to have to give away something else here. Want me to scroll?
There was some interesting...
Did I miss something? You like to hit every single question.
Well, to back up just a little bit.
Back up? See, no, so we already got through
this. We get this question all the time. Do you think gold would get confiscated?
Yeah, I mentioned
no,
that.
I don't.
I mentioned that.
Because the people have a legal case if the U.S. Mint has been selling millions and millions of ounces of gold, and then all of a sudden the government's confiscating it.
Yeah,
keep in mind the U.S.
silly.
Mint is an arm of the government. So what are they going to do? They're going to
confiscate the mint.
You paid thousands for this stuff, and we're going to take it back.
That is, by the way, the canary in the coal mine. If the U.S. Mint is still selling it, they're not going to be confiscating it. That's just a basic,
it certainly
reason.
would be a good case.
There's a lot of reasons why they're going to confiscate your digital wealth long before they come after the pittance of stacking silver and gold that people have right now. There's a whole bunch of reasons why they confiscated it before. Those reasons don't exist anymore. And by the way, they didn't really confiscate it. It was a voluntary thing. They didn't go door to door pulling people out, grabbing their gold and silver. It was an executive order not passed by Congress. There's so many reasons why you need to listen to the videos in my confiscation playlist. Again, mods, if you could grab that link from my channel and stick it in the chat, people need to watch that playlist of videos on gold and silver confiscation.
Okay, there's a comment about a 1/100th ounce gold round.
1/100th?
I can't imagine that
Laura,
the cost of manufacturing something like that would make it a prohibitive. It just wouldn't be something you'd want to spend your money on.
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
Would it be like
let's see.
$50? I mean, they
1/100th?
do have grams. I mean, gold grams. We got
If
those.
you take the price of gold,
Yeah.
divide it by 31.103, that should tell you what the dollar value of every gram is. So why would you want to go lower than that?
There you go.
Why would you want? I mean, right now that's probably $106, $108, something like that.
Okay.
But I mean, look how small a gram is. And
little
I
fingernail,
do occasionally get 50th. It's not even worth it.
All right. Should we hold off on Dole purchases?
What other good? Oh, this is an interesting question. I've often wondered why. What are your thoughts on why U.S. government does nothing to stop fake U.S. Eagles, which are UN's currency,
Good point.
from being sold on eBay?
Yes.
I think the government is relying on eBay to stop that, but
Sad.
it is just as bad as counterfeit money, and it's illegal, and the Secret Service should be following up on it.
Yeah.
I think they maybe have too many other things to do.
That was an interesting silver bar. It was an Engelhard bar, serialized Engelhard bar that was fake. In that you said you bought it from me to the customers at the store. That was unnecessary, Tim. It was not true. I didn't sell you a fake silver bar.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. I might have said, "Where did you get this from?" And you went, "Probably from you, Yankee," and everyone laughed.
Well, how did you find it? Where
it was on the floor like everything else.
But it was marked fake.
It was marked fake. Oh, absolutely. It was marked fake. And then I put it on the verifier, Sigma Metalytics. It was fake.
Was it just outside the brackets?
It was not just outside. It was pretty extreme outside. Yeah, it's fake.
I don't know where that came from.
An Engelhard.
But I bought a box of the older 10-ounce bars.
Yeah.
And all of them that I tested correctly.
Yes.
And when I went to sell that one, I put it on the verifier just because I didn't remember where I had gotten it, and it turned out to be fake.
Had you bought it, though?
I must have bought that as genuine, yeah.
Oh, so
I bought a box of these things, and I tested at least half of them.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, it snuck in.
Yeah,
it happens to the
it's-
best of us, right? Test your metals. You deal with a lot of metals, though. I mean, it's easy for me to say test your metals because I get a few here and there. You're like dealing with them
fake that came in
constantly.
today. It was that Morgan dollar.
The what?
The Morgan dollar with the
Yeah, that
was
little
a fake.
girl that came in and wanted to. She was adorable. That was really cute. Her grandfather, I guess, had passed it on to her. He was an old coin shop.
He was a coin dealer in Manchester. Yeah.
That's cool.
Interesting guy, because when he moved, he was relatively young man when he moved to North Carolina,
Right.
and a good guy and a good dealer. And I've never met most of his family. It turns out he was a pretty good family man too.
I see Jim asks the big question: when is the Yankee Tim coin release? Jim, I can't wait for this thing, but I have to. So Chase is down. He's on vacation, and he's going to be back soon. When he's back, hopefully I will get the date for final release of this thing, and I hope it's this summer. I hope it's really soon because I cannot wait to see these.
There's another question that relates to
You
my
notice how he
conversation.
just kind of disses it, passes it on.
Yeah.
He's so humble. He doesn't want to talk about a coin with his effigy on it. It's really nice looking too. Do people want to see a sneak peek? Do you think?
They may be, but they much rather have Trump coins still.
Oh, stop it! No, they wouldn't.
Hey, there was one of the questions. What was the
Go
question?
ahead and read it. I'm minimizing this after you read it. Go.
It says, if you had to guess, what percentage of dealers is sending 90% off to melt?
Yeah,
I'd like to talk
question.
with Harry about that. 'Cause
Okay.
He said he was doing a lot of refining.
Yes, he was. We
And
need to get
he
Harry
mentioned
back on.
gold, and I haven't done that yet. And I'm just curious to know if that is something that people are doing around the country.
They are, and you know what? I think we need to get Harry back on with you, me, and Silver Dragons like we did before, because I think you have some follow-up questions for him. I would love to hear the answer to that question. So should I briefly show this to people?
It looks a little like a mugshot.
I think it's great, man. But unfortunately, it'll be a coin effigy, so it's not going to be exactly. All right, here's I'm going to show it. Go ahead. Oh, that is so cool. That's coming out, guys. It's going to be pretty sweet when it does. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm buying them. That's all there is to it. All right, back to the questions. Actually, how much time do we have? Because we do need to do the giveaways coming up. We are at 200. Yes, we're over 200. So that's another round, at least 2.
Here's an interesting question. Where is the world history going?
Where's what?
I don't know, but someday it will be history.
Where is world history going? It's
You need to ask Kamala that, because she's an expert on the.
Sounds like a question.
She is she's an expert on the significance of the passage of time.
Oh, Yankee's not going to run the store, so Tim can take a vacation. Tim needs to close the store and take a vacation. You and I need to see F1, the movie. It comes out tomorrow. Okay. It's not a vacation, but I'm just reminding you.
Yep.
You and I think last time, I want to go to the movies and see that. That'll be a blast. I want to see it through your eyes, too. I want you to tell me what you think of it. But you and I are going to be heading to SD Bullion when these rounds come out.
Well, you have to find out if there's some sort of an IndyCar race going on there.
Okay, so at some point, we are going to go out there together because that will be fun. I want to visit them. And yeah, if there's an IndyCar race there, we're there. What else? No, don't drink. I heard the Fed will peg gold revaluation at 3,000. What do you think?
I think that's somebody's dream.
Yep. Oh, no, not that guy. Superjet at $10. Maybe this has been answered before, so my apologies if so. I want to contact Tim, as I don't trust my local coin shop dealer in my Arizona town. How does shipping costs work with Tim? Would it make sense premium-wise? Talk to us about how people would order.
Well, we kind of learned the hard way that we don't send anything out that's not insured. But it's very easy to determine what the prices are. If you have something of a lot of weight, it is difficult to send through the post office. So we usually ship that through FedEx.
Right.
If you have something that will fit in the small flat rate priority mailbox, that is $10.65. Right. That's the way we ship most things that actually fit in that box. If we have a large number of tubes of Eagles or rounds or whatever, we'll use the medium flat rate box. But, after that, it becomes kind of expensive. If we have to pay distance to the West Coast, we definitely want to put it in one of those flat rate boxes. Otherwise, it'll be prohibitive. It's easy to find out what the we are. If you're in Arizona, you're zone 8 to us. So if you want to find out what things cost, put in, go to USPS.com. You want to get a quote or whatever, and put in our address, because we're probably zone 8 to you, and put down the amount of money that you're spending to get the insurance cost, and the and what box you're going to use, which are either the small or flat or medium flat rate box, and so you can predict your own cost just by doing it backwards. But we sell most of what we send is going to be in the post office.
Colin Eyeball, thanks for that $1 super chat. I really appreciate it. T super chat at $2. How come Yankee is never on camera? It's a very simple answer. 7 years ago, I made a promise to Mrs. Yankee that I wouldn't. It's operational security reasons. I run an anonymous channel, and I don't want my guards to have to shoot anybody, or the Rottweilers to have to eat them. No, it's security. All right. Did you see anything else here? Oh. Can you have Tim explain the gray area on the wheel of names for us suspicious folks? Come on now, Tim. You
Where
know
is the
what
gray
that is.
area?
The gray area. Let me bring up the wheel of names. So when we put a bunch of people's names on here,
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I just know. I often wonder what that was.
wait, what?
I didn't know what the gray area was.
The gray area is okay. Fine, I will.
When you're
When I-
spinning it, doesn't it have a gray area that doesn't have names in it?
Right, right. So that gray area is the vortex of names, right? So what I do is I'll put all the names on the wheel and I'll get rid of that gray vortex, right? And you won't be able to read any of the names around the wheel. It'll be microscopic because we'll be putting in 1,000 names. So what I do is I create it so that you can read the names and it goes in and eventually pops out the top. And you know what I'm saying? So it goes in, comes out, goes in, comes out, right? I'll show you the setting. Don't give me that. It is right after the spin, no appearance. Where is it? It's a setting. Oh, max number of names visible on the wheel. All names in the text box have the same chance of winning regardless of this value. All right, fine. I'll have to show everybody that so they understand. See, right here. It's a setting. Max number of names visible on the wheel. Right now I have it set for 60. That makes it readable. If I put that all the way up to 1,000, you wouldn't be able to read the names at all. So anyway, that's that reason. I think what we need to do now, though, is I think we're going to have to end the chat because we're going to get to the giveaways. In fact, I think on that one, does it make sense? Yeah, unless you see two more. I'll give you 2 more questions to answer, Tim.
Or slowly scroll down.
Okay, I'll slowly scroll down. Spot price and melt price are the same. What do you think copper will... no, that's on the...
Regarding silver certificates, I have thousands. So if they're uncirculated, yes, I'm interested.
44 dime with a W mint. Nice. Who is good to get certified? Is that good to get certified? A 44 dime with a W?
Very, very high mintage.
Okay. How much gold? How much an ounce is gold in Bahrain? I don't know, Jones. J. Jones. Why is... well, Tracy Dennett has... Okay, this is a political question. I want you to answer it. Why is Trump being the way he is? He wasn't like this the last time. Believe me, I'm an elderly stacker and don't understand what is going on in this world anymore. Do you guys? She's
well,
elderly. Come on. I mean, she's confused by the world.
I take Trump at his word. So
Yeah.
if but you're sounding a little bit like Jazzy here.
Oh, now don't
Jazzy
Jazzy
wants to know why Trump didn't give her the top secret information.
That is not even close
No,
to
I
her
mean,
question. She's confused by something because the first time he was in there, he was
Listen.
in over his head.
Listen, I feel
He didn't
exactly
understand
to
the
the
deep state.
end of her sentence.
All right.
Is something I agree with.
Okay.
Because I don't understand what is going on in this world anymore at all.
It's crazy.
And every day I shake my head in disbelief at what is going on in this country. So
Get out. Those
I
are my
don't think
2
it's
words.
I don't think it's an age thing.
No.
I think you and I agree on a lot,
No.
though.
The world has changed. Our country has changed.
I have to remember the name, Tracy.
Two words. Get out. Not the movie. You need to get out of dollar-denominated assets. You need to get out of the banking cabal with any extra money that you have in savings. You need to get out of Democrat-run cities. Get out of blue states. Get your kids out of the public school indoctrination camps and ideological college campuses. We need to get out of the situation as much as possible. It's really hard to. It's not easy, but you're right. You're right, Tracy. It's getting crazy. It is crazy. This world, this country is
That's
has
an
a
interesting
lot of
question.
problems. All right.
What about bringing parts of Glass-Steagall back?
Yeah.
That ship has already sailed. It was
never
Clinton who
coming
had
back.
Glass-Steagall repealed. I think there are a lot of people who were in the government back then who had been, I guess they had been had. They were had. And unfortunately, the outgrowth of having Glass-Steagall repealed is the trillions and trillions of dollars in the hands of certain firms.
Nick, I did not listen to Glenn Beck on AI today, but I have listened to him on AI several times, along with other experts and people that are studying this. I think I am spot on. I'm really concerned. But I did listen to Glenn on the Democratic nominee for New York mayor, and he was spot on with the dangers. Spot on, man. I'm not blowing this out of proportion. This is serious. If you sell all your silver of $150, Hallmark Tim, then thank you, Mike. Then what? You just gonna hold the paper, buy gold? I'm confused. I thought we don't like fiat.
Okay, well, number one, I don't see it going to 150 in my lifetime.
Oh, what, you're
And,
gonna die when you're 80? Come on, Tim.
You're confused because you thought we don't like fiat. Well, unfortunately, if I don't have fiat in my store,
Yes.
and I get hundreds of people coming in to sell things, and they don't want checks,
No,
they'd rather have the fiat.
Of course, you need cash. You
Yeah,
need to pay your
and
taxes. You need to.
That's
pay
a
your
microcosm of the
customers.
world, by the way.
You need to pay. everything.
What you're saying, what I'm saying. That's the problem with
Right.
digital currencies, is because the majority of the world wants the fiat.
Mm-hmm. But it's going to end. It's not going to
something
happen.
has to be
All
done
fiat currencies go
with
to their
AI, but
intrinsic
other
value,
countries-
which is zero. All of them. Every single one has. U.S. is no different. It will happen one day. And in maybe not in your lifetime, Tim, but I do expect you to hang around for quite a while. So,
What? Fiat?
yeah.
Yeah, me
What would
too.
it be? 90, 92, 95. Yeah. You got a ways to go. All right. I'm going to cut you off like in a bar. I have to, because you will close this. Because you'll never stop. All
Sorry,
the
Yankee
questions.
doesn't want me to answer any more
No,
questions.
oh, don't. No, wait a minute. Wait a second here. I get in trouble for holding you here
We were
too
having so
long.
much fun, too. weren't we?
I get in trouble by holding you here too long. I do. People say, Yankee, you're awful. Why do you keep him there? He gets to bed at 10 or 3 in the morning, and it's all because of you. They blame me.
It is, yeah.
That is no. It's not my fault. I'm trying to help you. First of all, you need to cut back on your hours. I told you I'd nag you every single time.
I'm
You're
pretty good at taking a short nap while I'm working.
That's not the same thing, Tim. You know what I'm talking about. Your daughters think the same thing. You're going too far with this. You're a workaholic.
Well, I'm also a perfectionist.
Yeah, I've noticed. And a stubborn one at that.
Except that, and I have people knowing that I'm a perfectionist until they see you go in the back room and upstairs.
No.
And they think, wow, what a mess.
What did you direct me to today? I didn't actually go, but you knew exactly where it was. What was it? It was, first of all, you went and found the 007 bars.
Yes.
Like that.
Yep.
No, what was next to the sneaker box? You said next to the
the
Skechers or
The
something?
Skechers box.
What
you
was next
skipped
to
over
that?
the Skechers box and you went to where you found one Papa. The
Yes.
the big
The
round,
big one, which you sold.
Yeah. Well, from that video. So
From that
the
video,
guy
yeah.
came in the next day and said, that's what I want.
Right.
But in the Skechers box, I mean, you had found some gold someplace.
Oh, yeah. That
on the-
took my breath away. Yeah.
Where the counter was?
It was on the floor. It was on a box
Oh, okay.
down the hall. Yeah. I was like, whoa.
Well, it was 10 times that in the Skechers box.
Wait,
You do
what?
that right. Oh, there's a whole lot of it.
Oh,
I'm
Tim.
I'm probably going to take that to a whole. Hey, you should ask people at SD Bullion if they want proof gold eagles.
I will. I'll ask him that.
All denominations. They're 4-coin sets.
Really?
Yeah, 'cause I bought a lot of those in a short period of time.
Oh my goodness.
And most of my customers, if they're buying gold, they want to buy an American Eagle or a Buffalo,
Yeah.
and maybe 2 or 3, whatever.
Right. Okay.
But not necessarily the 4-coin set.
Should
or
have gone
something
back
like
there and took a look at that box. Next time
Well,
I come in,
I'm,
maybe
I'm
Saturday.
going to hide it and put that.
No,
in.
don't do
I'm going to put all the gold in a special place. I have a secret room.
So hey, these are from leftovers. People, I don't think anybody won these, but these are 2.5 ounce silvers from you, Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do a giveaway on that. Thank you. We did also have 2 others. Again, did not get claimed. Most things get claimed, but these 2, these are. Is that a? You tell me what that is. Is that a wolf or a coyote or what? Wolf. It's got to be a wolf, right?
Is it Canadian?
Yeah, it is the
that's the-
Canadian wildlife.
That was the most
Half ounce.
popular of the wildlife series when they first came out.
This?
The wolf. Yeah, Wolf in the Moon.
We'll give away 2 of those. That's cool.
Yeah, these are awesome.
They really are. You got more of them? You must have piles of these. You must. The wildlife. Oh, boy.
Piles of everything.
Wow. Okay. Well, that'll be fun. So we'll do this. We'll do this. A couple of my ouncers. Also, actually, are we at, what are we at? 240. If we get to 300, look at this. This was given to me by Black Market Metals. All right, we get to 300. That will be number 300 giveaway, the Libertad. It's a 2001, I believe. Yes, 2001. This was really nice. Somebody actually came in your store, bought this, and said, give it to Yankee.
Yes, as a giveaway.
Well, this is the next one to end up on the giveaway tray. So that, a couple of those. Of course, we have something else here that I wanted to open. This is from Shark Tooth Stacker. Hold on one second. Where is... Shoot. Did I put my knife? Oh, hold on. All right.
That's why you were at a girl's bike.
Shark Tooth Stacker. There's a note here. Let me just, I'm going to switch out here really quick, just for a second. It says, hey, Yankee, it has been a while. Lost my job last November, so been busy looking for work. Ah, Tom, sorry to hear that. Hard at my age. Here are, oh man, you don't, he's lost his job and he's sending me something. Here are some slick silver quarters for giveaways. I'm not fond of slicks, so I would like to have them find a better home. Keep up the good work, Tom. Shark Tooth Stacker. Wow, Tom. Again, I don't know where my knife is. Oh, Dad, I can't believe you did this. That was really nice. This is the type of community we have, Tim. Guy loses his job. And he sends me silver to give away. Look at this. Of course, the tape was making it difficult to open. Oh, wow, that's interesting. There we go. Shark tooth. There's shark teeth, I should say, right there. I'll show that in a minute. All right, so we've got an interesting taped up. There. Standing Liberty quarters. Look at this. Washington, Standing Liberties. Whoa. You know, I don't want to break this up. I think maybe once I get scissors, could you pass me the scissors over your tea?
Oh, way over there.
Yeah, way over there. Is your tea all done? All gone? Cold now, probably.
I should probably get going.
Yeah, exactly. See, guys, I cut off the Q&A, and he suddenly realizes I was right. You don't have to drink my cold tea. All right. I think that is a
Most of
giveaway.
the honey's in the bottom.
Most of the honey. I tried to stir that honey up really well. You saw me down there stirring it. I think that is incredible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Wow. 14 quarters. I'm not sure I want to break this up. That is a monster giveaway. That is incredible.
You could make one person really happy or 14 people happy.
I could, not fun of six. So I would like to have them find a better home. For God, he says give away, so I think I might make somebody really, really happy with that. That would be amazing, right? And if the person who wins doesn't claim it, I'll cut it all up. But I don't want to spend the time to do that. I think it's a full giveaway. So, all right, so let's move this out of the way. Guys, I'm going to set this all up after I escort Tim out. So don't go anywhere. Make sure you put something in the chat, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, I have to get by the garden.
Right, we are back. Was that fun, guys? Did you enjoy that with Tim? I did. I always do. Let me get up here. All right, so we've got... Actually, I should probably... Maybe I could zoom out here. No. Yeah, I'll just deal with it this way. All right, so this will be... Wow, that is amazing. Tom, I can't believe you did this. All right, let's line these up. Let's do some ST Bullion. Let's just Benji and Kennedy. Let's do, actually, line up some giveaways here. So we got 5 silver dimes. That'll be one thing. We'll do a Benji. Then we'll do a Benji and a Kennedy. Then we'll do a couple rounds. Actually, maybe some different ones. Yeah. 2 rounds here. What are we at? 243. All right. Well, if we get to 300, this will be the giveaway, which is now part of my stack. But yeah, it won't be in my stack forever. I can guarantee you that. We're going to do a couple pocket pingers. Okay, so we'll do a couple pocket pingers. Check out the link in the description of all my videos. If you don't win, get yourself a pocket pinger to test. We were talking about counterfeits. You need to be able to ping your silver, whether it be a round or $50 or $1. dime or eagle or let's do the gold. Oh, there's something about the gold. I love the gold. So get a pocket pinger, a stack stick, and all that. Enough of that. All right. So, two people did not claim their Tim magnets, signed Tim magnets. So we've got the epic Tim holding the bar, and then we've got the Tim in the shop, signed by Tim. Here's mine. Almost Homestead, thank you again for making these super cool magnets. Really fun. We'll give away each of those 3. And then we've got the half ouncers. Let's put the pocket pingers here. And then, let's see, actually, we'll do that second to last. We'll do the, where is it? Well, actually, maybe we'll do both of these together. These are 2 half-ounce buffaloes, so we'll give that as a pack right there. We'll do the half-ounce, 2 of these half-ouncers, the wolf, then that. They'll do the magnets first, way over here, and then comes these. And then comes the final giveaway, which will be SD Bullion's Canadian Maple Leaf Random Year, straight from SD Bullion. Check out SD Bullion's deals pages. That's exactly where this comes from. If you like to buy your metals online, Tim does not have an online shop. You have to come to his store or have him ship it to you. But if you want the convenience of an online bullion dealer, there is none better than this company right here, SD Bullion. I buy mine, and let me just quickly show you what I buy. Now, all this isn't SD Bullion's. Some of this is Tim's as well. So it's a potpourri of stuff that I've purchased over the last 6 months. Thank you for your support. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. John 3:16. It's one of the big reasons why I love SD Bullion, a company of faith, but they also have phenomenal deals. And they were and are a Stackers online bullion dealer. They started as Stackers. Tyler Wall was a stacker. Excellent company. Highly recommend. Go to sdbullion.com/new. First timers can get silver at spot. All right. So we're going to give away that maple. And that will be open to U.S. residents. So I will have, when we get to that, I will give you some added instructions for the winner. All right. I think we're ready. You should have put something in the chat, because I'm going to stop harvesting names, right? And we'll put that in the wheel of names. So I'll give you 5 seconds to put something in there, all right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so let's stop. And then I'm going to copy. We'll switch over to the browser and paste. And by the way, I'm going to have to exclude all comments and all participants that used bubbles or bicycle in the chat. No, I'm kidding. I won't do that. Now, okay, there's the gray vortex of names. All right. Again, customize max number of names. For those of you who think, no, Yankee, show them all. Do you really want the wheel to look like this? I don't. And since it's my wheel and it's a trusted, non-rigged wheel, I am going, because I'll tell you, you wouldn't be able to see the names coming. So all of a sudden a name would appear and you'd be like, Yankee, how did that name appear? There's no way. You have to see the names, guys. So that's what that is. So 60 names is usually around what I like. All right, you can see the names. Right now, I'm going to sort them alphabetically, and I'm going to scroll through them very slowly. I'm not going to stop. There's so many. There's almost 1,000, right? I'm not going to stop on every name, but I am going to scroll rather slowly. For those of you who swear up and down, my name's not on the wheel. It's there. If you put something in the chat, I got it. It's in there, and duplicates are removed. So it doesn't matter how many times you put something in the chat. D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Ooh, lots of days. K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X. And there's Yankee right there. Right in front of Yankee's rigged wheel. This person should be removed. I'm going to remove this person from. I can't believe somebody set up a YouTube account named Yankee's rigged wheel. I should remove. No, I won't remove it. Now, if it lands on my name, I got to give an extra 1 ounce of silver away. So let's not have that happen tonight. All right, wait. Am I on there? T. Jordan. Okay. Thanks. Hey, I want to see not rigged by my members. I got to shout out a few more in the chat right there. I want to see not rigged. Come on, not rigged nation. You know who you are. Let's see it. I'm going to look at a few more super chats before we do the spinning here. Will your coin be made in reverse proof? 28 Baby Shark, not initially. Okay, first BU only. First straight up, and then we'll look at other things like proof, and we'll do it in silver and gold at some point. There's a lot of renditions that I think are coming, but thank you for that $2 super chat. Tiger, super chat of $5. Yankee lies. No, he doesn't. It is where the rigging is. It is technically called the vortex of rig. No, it's not, Tiger. Stop it. AI, super chat. Is it AI or Al? It's got to be Al. Super chat at $5, unless AI is putting a super chat in. That would be awesome if AI is super chatting me. No, it's Al. Do you think the GSR will ever drop back to under 80? Absolutely, yes. Tim doesn't. Well, actually, no. Tim thinks so, too. Tim thinks it's 70-ish, 60, 70, somewhere in there. I think it's going to go back to where it was in 2011 one day. Thank you for the $5, though. Tiger Stacker, super chat at $5 again. Remember, fiat is rigged and produced by the spinning of the rotten rigged wheel. Don't trust Yankee. Tiger, man. You're a Buffalo Bullet member. By the way, we need that one-on-one. We got to have our one-on-one this month. I know. We need to have it. Got to get our schedule straightened out here. But Tiger, my friend, come on, buddy. Throw me. Dude, really. Al, super chat, another $5. I love the behind-the-counter tour. The inventory of the LCS blows my mind. You know, Al, I get a lot of positive comments on that. I did get a bunch of negative ones too. This was approved and fully supported by Tim. It was really to help him, to help people see his inventory and what's available. I was able to pull things out. He was able to sell a lot of stuff because of it. It also, now that he's not here, I am working hard on getting a lot of that cleared out. Now, you heard him. He's a perfectionist, and he's stubborn, and I'm having a really hard time getting him to follow what I want him to do, and that is liquidate 80 to 90% of the stagnant silver and gold that he has back there, and get back to just straight up bullion, because he buys everything that people bring to him, no matter what. That's his way. That's how he works, you know. Ron Jr. 766 super chat $2. Like Libertad. Well, let's get to that 400. I'm sorry, get to the 300. I don't know, we're not that far away, and I can give that away. Tiger Stacker super chat at $5. See, Bubbles is rigged. Tiger Stacker, another $5. I love you, Yankee, despite your corruption and rigging. You know that's not true. You know it's not corrupt. You know it's not rigged. Liar. You're the liar. Yankees rigged wheel. Super chat at $5. Vortex of rigged Yankee. Who is this Yankees rigged wheel dude? All right, enough of this. Let's do this. So the first thing we're going to give away, let's do the magnets. My magnet followed by Tim. So good luck, everyone. Let's get this shuffled up really well and spin. Okay, here we go. This is the first one. This is the YankeeStacking magnet from Almost Homestead. Greatly appreciate it. Again, all winners, please email me your mailing address. Do include the mailing address. I know a lot of people get excited and they forget to do it, but don't be that guy or gal. YankeeStacking@gmail.com. We got Evolver code Coolman6564 and Janice Hunter. Janice Hunter, you got my magnet. Congratulations. Right here. I'll get that out to you. It's a fun one. And let's spin it again. This is for the Tim Coin and Stamp Shop magnet, signed by the one and only Tim. Harry is not going to win, Adrian. Yeah, how many of you guys are interested in another four-way podcast with Harry and Tim? Our second one. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to see that again. G. Forbes, Metal Mate, and Gary Del Vecchio. Gary, you got the magnet. You got the magnet here, right there. This one. It's really cool. I love that one. All right, put that in. Spin for the third magnet. This is the iconic one, signed by Tim again. This massive silver bar, Swiss bar, 10,000 ounces that Tim is holding on his shoulder. I love that. All right, a lot of ones. Yeah, I guess you guys want to see another round with Harry. He's a great guy. All right, so we got B. Taylor, RSHF, Nicholas, John, Lisa, Pete, and Mr. Class 61. There it is, Mr. Class 61, making another member of the Not Rig Nation, one winner at a time. All right, so there's that. Let's put that over there. Now let's do a couple pocket pingers. Again, pocket pingers. If you don't win, check out my link. Buy a pocket pinger. Definitely want to get one of these. All right. It's I'm just going to spin again. No shuffling this time. I'll shuffle later on. We'll reshuffle, I should say, later on. It's the first pocket pinger. Yes, please, says Chris O'Grady. Pocket dinger. No, wrong. You mistyped that. The pingers are sweet, Lobster. Yes, I agree. Zombie arms. Not rigged. Thank you. Pelosi for the... Pelosi? No. Looks like Frank Rizzo beat out Paul M. for the first pocket pinger. Frank Rizzo, congratulations. Email me at YankeeStacking@gmail.com. And here's the second pocket pinger winner. Thank you, My Silver Journey. Great. Ellie, thank you so much. You guys are great mods. I appreciate all that you're doing. Really do. All right. Tooley's in the house. Frank Rizzo. Congrats on the pocket pinger win. Yes. I'm going to do something special for my mods during my 200,000 subscriber live stream giveaway. Greg Curtis. Looks like you're going to get the second pocket pinger. Congrats, Greg. Email me. All right. So what's next? Let's do 5 dimes. Can't go wrong with 5 dimes. These are all rosies, I believe, right? Sure, all rosies. Yes. Do I have any Mercs in here? Or Winged Liberties? I do not. But you know what I do have? I have a Canadian dime. An 80%er, I believe. I'm going to add that to the other 5. So 6 dimes. We're going to do 6 dimes. Go back here, get rid of this one. I think now we will shuffle and spin for the 6 dimes. 5 90%, 1 80%. And I'm still amazed at what Shark Tooth Stacker did. That's insane. Dude. 14 quarters. Wow. Very generous. Kelly O'Neill, Tim Ryan, T-Pack 5000. Can you hold on to the 6 dimes and the win? Yes. Right down to the wire there. T-Pack 5000. Congrats. Email me your mailing address. We'll get those dimes out to you. Let's do a Benji. This one's dated 1951. Looks in really good shape, actually, except for the top. Is that toning on a Benji? Yep. All right. 50 cent, 90%, 50 cent piece. Lord Prep, JC, Stephen Walker, Lee Glass. I'm going to guess Lisa might get this one, but he's got to get by Steve Gilbert first. Oh, I'm wrong. Steve's hanging on. Oh, right down to the line. Steve Gilbert gets the Benji right here. There it is. It's a nice Benji. Put that over there. Congrats, Steve. What do we got? What do we got? We got the 2 Kennedy and Benji pack. $2.50. $1 face. Let's do it. Do you guys clean your constitutional silver? Put no clean in the chat or put clean in the chat if you clean it. No clean or clean. No clean or clean. All right, we've got Austin, Robs, Pam, Down, South, Pickin, Will, yep. And Tim Ross. I don't think you're going to hold on to it, Tim. I think Walt Moody is going to take these $50 from you. Walt Moody. Congratulations, Walt. You got the $2.50. We'll put them over here. Remove that. And then, oh, I got to show these again just for people to see. We're going to do the wolf. 2 of them. We're going to spin twice. Boom, boom. Really quick. All right. Let's go back. This one I will shuffle up a bit. Shuffle, shuffle, and spin. All right. So what was the answer here? Let's go back. Clean or no clean? Both. No clean. No clean. No. Anybody cleaning them? Beautiful coins. No clean. No clean. There's one. Dark Side does. Dark Side Daryl. Yeah. Lisa B. Issa Timmy. Easy Timmy, sorry. P-ville and Nick Butler. Nick Butler is going to get one of the Wolf half-ounce Canadian silver coins. Very nice. 2006. Let's remove Nick and spin again for the second winner. Congratulations, Nick. We're whipping through these. Personally, no, I don't clean them. Although, man, I'll tell you, if it's sticky, Steely the Stacker says yes. If it's sticky, you would. I think they've earned their dirty. I think you don't clean them. That's just my opinion. Although you do need to clean your hands after you handle it. All right, we've got Burst Altitude, Charlie D, and I think maybe JDO. JDO gets the other Wolf half-ounce silver. Congratulations. All right, so I just think I saw a super chat come flying in. I did. We're over 300. We're at $313.76. We're going to have to slide this one in. Let me see. Is that from my good friend Check Stacker? It is. Libertad time. Everybody's saying thank you. Hitting that. I'm going to hit love on that one. Thank you so much, my friend. Check Stacker. Check out Check Stacker's channel too. Mods, please put his channel in the chat. It's really good Yankee Cannon member. We have our militia meetup coming up in a few weeks. Can't wait for that. That's our premium members. The Buffalo Bullet and the Yankee Cannon members get together for some exclusive discussion over stacking. So if you're interested in getting in on that on a monthly basis, consider those memberships. But thank you so much, Check, for that. We're going to give away that after a few more things. So we're going to do these half ounces, which is really 2 halves, making a full ounce, buffaloes. We'll do that. Then we'll do my 2. Then we'll do this, which was mine, no longer. Then we'll do all of those quarters. And then, if there are no more super chats to make it more difficult for me to stop, I will do the SD Bullying giveaway. All right, switch back. Let's shuffle these up really well. And spin. Good luck. Here we go. This is for the 2 half-ounce Buffalo rounds. Okay. Oh, Tiger Stacker also doesn't clean his constitutional. Yeah. Let's see. We've got Sailor Time, My Silver Journey, Diane Pitts, Frank J, Robert LaChance. It looks like Mike McCulley. Mike McCulley is going to win the 2 half-ounce Buffalo rounds. Congratulations, Mike. Email me your mailing address. I'll put that in the giveaway tray, which is filling up rapidly. A quick little shuffle and spin. This one's for the first Morgan-style round. Sunshine Minting, I believe it's from. 1 troy ounce. I love it. It's a great style. I love the Morgan rounds. I really do. Because I love the Morgan design. All right. Let's see. We got Tim H., James Burnett, Stan Strong, Ralph Hart, and Carol Dotson. Carol, hold on, Carol. I think you're going to walk away with a Morgan round. Yes, you are. Congratulations, Carol. This is what you won. Email me your mailing address. I'll get that out to you. Please allow a couple weeks for shipping, especially in the summer. Mrs. Yankee and I are trying to squeeze in some day trips and travel and stuff. So, trying to enjoy the two of us together a lot. So we'll get to it. I promise. All right. We do have some interesting stuff coming up that's going to take some of our attention. The next one is this Morgan style round. That's a very pretty style. I like the border on this one. Okay. Let's get back. Bye-bye, Carol. Let's spin again. Good luck. Here we go. Why am I not seeing all the comments? I don't know why. But, oh, there they are. Yes, thank you. Nice going check. Wow, whoa, awesome work, sir. Very generous. Thanks, bud. Let's go check. Yes, check for the win. I love it. Thank you so much. That was a nice $50 super chat. Wow. All right, Paul L. is going to give it over to Gulf Coast Stacker 23. And yes, you won the other Morgan round. Let's put that in the tray. And because of all the generosity from people that are watching right now and all those that have super chatted, thank you so much. We're going to give away this beautiful Libertad. Love it. I hope it lands on someone that doesn't own one. And I absolutely love having a channel where I can bless the community, give back, do these giveaways. I can't wait to reach 200,000 subscribers. If you know anybody that hasn't subscribed to me that might enjoy my channel, tell them. Get Yankee to 200,000. I've got a pile of stuff I need. I've got so much on my desk in front of me to give away. Oh my goodness. Can't wait to do it. Poker John, JC Truther, good to see you in here. Beastorian. Sorry. Beastorian, yes, you got the Libertad. Congratulations. Email me. All right. Now, as if that wasn't enough. These are amazing giveaways today. We're going to give away this from Shark Tooth Stacker. Shark Tooth, if you're watching right now, actually, I have your email. I got to reach out to you, buddy. That I really do. That was incredibly generous. And we need to talk about your situation. So, let's give away all of those quarters. In fact, no. I just saw something. They're Washingtons. They're Standing Liberties. But there is a Barber in the corner. I missed it. Sweet. 1911. There's that date. You can read it. Yep. Somebody's going to be really happy. This might have to be folded and repackaged to fit in our Mrs. Yankee does all the packaging. She'll have to tackle that one. But I think this is the way to go. Give it all. Give it all away in one fell swoop. That would be really cool. All right, so let's shuffle this up. Before I do it, though, don't give him the Libertad. Wait, what? What? Don't give him the Libertad, says Black Snowflake. Did I miss something in the chat? Help me, guys. From Shark Tooth to Sawtooth. Here we go. Nah, I don't know about that, Sawtooth. Don't give him the Libertad. Why? Why should I not give him the Libertad? I'm looking. Did I miss something? Seriously, don't give him... Or are you just being mean? Amen, Marsh. What? Libra. Rig it right in. Only the vortexes. Oh, stop it. Send me one. Oh, all right. I guess there was no message, okay, from Beastorian saying that he didn't want it or something, right? I'm looking for you, Beastorian. If you're in the house, congrats. Just let me know. I'm looking back through the chat. Everything's good. You had me going there for a minute. All right. I want to see not rigged. Not rigged. Right in the chat right now. No, there's a message. Try to find. No, there is a message. Oh, shoot. There is a message. Beast wants it. Okay, good. Beast wants it. All right. Not rigged. There it is. Not rigged. Not rigged. Not rigged. Not rigged. Not rigged. Not rigged. Yes. Not rigged. Yeah, there we go. Ha! Ha ha! That's what I'm talking about. See? Yes. Thank you. There's no way to rig this thing. It is thewheelofnames.com. I don't own that. Rig Nation, you just get under my skin sometimes. All right, so let's shuffle this up really well. Okay, really, 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 really well. But Yankee is rigged. Stop it, Casey. Come on. All right, really well. All right. Stop. Yankee's wheel is rigged. Somebody set that account up. Tiger Stacker. Wait, what? $92? What? It is so rigged. Give up more silver. Dude, thank you so much. Oh, wow. Right one? I know. All right, okay, well, hold on. He came through in a big way. 410. Wow. Tiger, again, mods, put Tiger's channel link in the chat, please, because people are missing out on, they're missing out on a lot of fun when it comes to teasing me over the rig wheel. So he has a whole series of Rig Nation stuff. It's hilarious. But his local coin shop dealer video that he dropped was really, really good. You've got a great dealer there at your pawn shop. Most pawn shops are not like Tiger Stacker's pawn shop. He dropped a great video. More are coming. I'm convinced that he's going to be dropping more of those videos if he so knows what's good for him. So, all right. I got to give another round away, right? So, hold on. Let me see here. Hold on. No, I don't want to do that. Do I have one? Yeah. Let's see. Hold on here. What's this? Oh, I know. Tiger, I can get rid of this, right? You'll let me get rid of this thing, right? Maybe this is what I need to get rid of. Yeah, this Doge thing, right? Is that what it is? Doge? Yeah. Maybe this is the next giveaway, right, Tiger? Yeah. I think me. No, I won't do it. I won't do it. Hold on. Something good. I need a fun one. Let's do a fun one out of my box here. I have a peanuts round. If you like peanuts, we're going to give this away. All right, it's a little after Valentine's, so you're going to have to hold on to it if you're going to give that to someone, but let's do that. That's a nice 1 ounce round. Sweet, huh? All right, you love Snoopy? Who loves Snoopy? Put a 1 in the chat if you love Snoopy. All right, let's shuffle it up and give it away. Boop, boop. Shuffle, spin. The wheel on Yankee. Stop it. What are you doing to me, Tiger? Oh, man, you're something else. Here we go. Let's give away this round and let's give away those quarters. Might be rigged. No, Scott, it's not. James, Mark, Matthew Faulkner, and Nan XX. Looks like Nan XX with the win. Congratulations. All right. Take that away. Nan XX, please email me your mailing address. All right. Should I shuffle or not for this one? I am going to shuffle one more time. Shuffle it up a bit more. And then this is for the quarters. 14 quarters, guys. Here we go. Woo! See, it's not rigged. No MR, you're wrong. Nanex knows it's not. not. Sorry, Tiger. This is Nan XX. All right, here we go. For the quarters. This is a big one, guys. This is a big one. Silver Slammer, James Johnson, MH, John H. Can John H hold on to it? Is Fubar going to take it? Fubar took it. Whoa, Fubar with the win. Email me your mailing address, Fubar. You get the quarters. Congratulations. Remove. Now the final one. Final one. Let me show you. It's this guy right here from SD Bullion. Again, online bullion dealer. This is who you want to deal with. Go to the deal section. Okay, make sure you're on their mailing list because they show you extra special deals. All right, this is it. Let's shuffle it up one last time. The one last giveaway. Unless we get to 500, but I doubt that's going to happen. Here we go. Woo! Good luck, everyone. Here we go. And Missy, welcome. Welcome to the Patriot Pistol. Good to have you aboard. All right, BitBud, Shannon Zell, Paul M, Andrew, Dave Cups, You Belong 98. Lori's like, oh, Lori, way to go. You did it. You blew the wheel around. I'm kidding. You got it. So email me, Lori, not just your mailing address, but I need your phone number as well, because I will send all that directly to SD Bullion. They will ship it directly to you. And if there's any issues, they need to be able to give you a ring. So that's it. Lori, congrats. And that is it for tonight. Did I miss any other super chats? Other than the $5 from Tiger Stacker that says the wheels on Yankee's bike are a bike. Ring. Wow, you are relentless, my friend. But that was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream with Tim. Oh, don't forget to keep stacking. Keep stacking. Don't stop stacking. I mean it. Now, time, sometimes timing is okay. And definitely dollar cost averaging is a smart thing to do too as well. But get silver and gold. Okay, this is my gold target now. The pre-33 jewelry grade cleaned circulated gold and rounds. All right, guys. Thanks again. Have a great night. And I hope your day is A-OK.